Why are you talking so much about the World Cup? Well, it's because it is the most watched sporting event in the entire world, and the focus today is right here in our nation's capital. So they literally, when we say the world is watching, the world is watching.
Yeah, it's a feast of an event, so we hope you have an appetite for it. It's huge. This is going to be one of the most important moments ahead of the much-anticipated summer tournament that will take place here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Today's draw, the first for the newly expanded 48-team World Cup, will define the path for the finals when all the teams are involved.
All right, we're going to get to our team coverage in just a second, but expanding that to 48 teams, how much of a difference does that make, Tuck?
Well, I think it makes a huge difference, especially to a lot of countries that would not otherwise be eligible to go. So there are still teams on the fringe, like Italy, they're still going to get a chance to get in. So it makes it more fun for more of the global community than ever, right?
More of the world invited to the party, right?
Exactly.
All right, that party gets underway next June when the first World Cup matches will begin. Our party is underway right now, and we have team coverage ourselves for you. So representing our team around the DMV, Chad Ricardo live at the center of it all at the Kennedy Center this morning. Annie Mae with some soccer fans in Navy Yard down at Solace Outpost where the USA Fan Club is hanging out. And Julie Donaldson is at a watch party at Four Courts in Arlington, one of the best sports bars and soccer bars you'll find in the area. We're going to kick things off with the man himself, Chad, who is right there front and center at the Kennedy Center. What's up, my man?
That's right. And guys, let me tell you, the moment that we've all been waiting for is right here. It is FIFA World Cup Draw Day. We're here at the Kennedy Center. We're in just under an hour. We are going to find out not only what teams are playing, but where they will be playing and which brackets that they're going to be in. Now, there's some people at home that are saying to themselves, this kind of confuses me. So I want to give you just a little bit of a breakdown as to in terms of exactly what it is that we're going to see here. There's going to be 12 groups, 12 total groups. There's going to be 4 teams in each of those groups. Now, those teams are not given out randomly. Those teams are going to come from the 4 different pots that are going to be laid out here today. The way that the pots work, this is actually kind of similar to the seeding for the NCAA basketball tournament, if you're familiar with that. The top seeds in the world are going to be in that pot 1. USA is going to be in that pot 1, so be on the lookout for that. The next teams are going to be in pot 2, pot 3, and then pot 4, as we talked about, are going to be not only the teams that have already been determined, but some of the teams that will be determined via playoff coming up later on. Those teams are going to be dispersed into those 12 groups, and that is how it is that we will find out exactly who it is that is going to play. This is an extraordinarily exciting moment, especially for those sites that are here in the United States that are going to be holding matches. And where are we talking about? We're speaking about the New York, New Jersey area. We're talking about the Atlanta area. We're talking about the Seattle area, and even more so. So it is going to be again in just under an hour in which we will find out what teams are playing, where they will be playing, albeit in the United States and Canada or Mexico, and we will find out where it is all going down. It's an exciting day. The draw right here.
It is, Chad, and Philly, the closest to us.
Yep.
You know, they're in the mix as well. And I knew you would be sharp for this huge event. The red carpet has already started.
Chad is the red carpet.
Yeah, he
right?
is the red carpet.
Yeah, the celebs come to him.
You got it. The anticipation, we just talked about it, not only at the Kennedy Center, but it's all over the country. And, of course, right here in the DMV, bringing together fans to cheer for their nation, share their cultures, and celebrate the beautiful game in the heart of America.
So there's even watch parties for the draw itself. One of them is at Solace Outpost. That's where Annie Mae is. Another one is at Ireland's Four Courts. That's where Julie Donaldson is. As more and more people are going to start to show up as we get closer to the draw at noon today. So let's kick off our bar round of coverage with Annie Mae.
You are right, guys. Lion Lunch Hour aside, we are already here making a drink at the bar at Solace Outpost. Andrew is joining me, and we are going to have a watch party here in a few minutes. It's officially started. We're going to have people filing in, and we are going to make a drink for that. What are we making today?
Oh, we're making the quintessential Orange Crush. It's a great lunchtime beverage. Get your orange juice in, your vitamin C for the day. Yeah, nice little, like, all day sipper.
Hey, the thing we were talking about, go ahead, go start making it. Yeah. We were talking about the DMV area, right? So it's just really a melting pot of so many different people in this area, which will be really exciting for World Cup coming up. And to top that all off, we decided Orange Crush really represents the DMV. So I'm sure you make a lot of these here at watch parties. But are you excited for having this one today and gearing up for World Cup next summer?
Oh, absolutely. We're a bar that, celebrates, soccer in all of its forms all over the place. Man U, Team USA. So we're really looking forward to, taking care of everybody and having this place, packed out for the World Cup.
All right, let's do it. Let's shake this bad boy up here. I've got my scarf going on. And that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You gotta shake it around, right?
Give it a little twirl, a little shimmy, like just a little something to people, little action with it.
It's really awesome to be able to come to a watch party, too, because, of course, World Cup being in America doesn't necessarily mean we're playing any games here in D.C. It's going to be, of course, everywhere else. But you can come and you can watch the games and you can still get all of that energy and you can top it off with a drink. Andrew, thank you very much. Where are you guys located here in Navy Yard?
We're down here by the Nationals ballpark. Keep following. Can't miss it.
There you go, right next to Audi Field, too. We'll do this.
And a little orange there for you.
A little orange on top. Back to you guys.
All right, so Annie Mae's got the idea with the Orange Crush. Meanwhile, we're just having some good old eggs and bacon here. What else would you have at 11 a.m.? The Orange Crush might be a nice addition. So we're at Ireland's Forecourts in Arlington. This is the place to go if you want to watch any soccer matches. And, of course, today, the World Cup Draw. I got to talk to Wayne here. Wayne has been coming to this bar for 29 years and so excited about the World Cup Draw today. What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, I just want to see where the U.S. is playing and who their competition is going to be.
All right, so the U.S. this year, we've got some questions on them, but how much do you think being a host country might be able to carry them a little bit through this?
Well, we can always hope.
Who are you most afraid of when it comes to the World Cup that U.S. might face?
There's so many of them. I mean, in England, France, Italy, Germany, they're all tough, top-flight teams, so the competition will be very rough for them.
Could you imagine if England were to win here on our 250th birthday?
That would be something, yes.
We'll have to make sure that doesn't happen. So there is so much excitement here ahead of the World Cup Draw. Thank you so much, Wayne. We'll let you get back to your breakfast. We'll see if we can't maybe get you an Orange Crush as well, or an Irish coffee I think he has going on. Okay, let's send it back to the studio.
All right, thank you so much. And looking at that lunch or brunch that they have there, that's what I need with the snow.
Friday afternoon.
Oh,
right.
come on.
Go enjoy the party and have a nice snow afternoon. Hey, quickly, update for the weather. Temperatures are only in the 20s, so just, snow's not going to just disappear here. It is winding down, and daytime highs will probably only be in the low 30s going forward here. Snow winding down, still with us, but it's getting lighter by the minute. Should mostly be over by early afternoon, and then we'll be looking at just a cloudy afternoon and a cold afternoon. Cold tonight, too. Just be, black ice is always an issue after a winter event, so just be careful. Slippery out there later today. Back to you.
All right, good to know. So listen, this time of year at the Kennedy Center, you usually have a big celebrity presence because it's that time of year for the Kennedy Center Honors. It's tough to top, and I know that's coming up this weekend with some great names, but it's tough to top what's going on today as the draw is drawing some of the big names.
Oh, talk about headliners. It's all happening right here in the district. At the Kennedy Center is going to be a star-studded event, and Makia, that's putting it lightly.
Oh, yeah, they're pulling out all the heavyweights for this one, guys. So as stated, the World Cup Draw is happening today, in fact, right here in the nation's capital, and we are less than 1 hour away. That draw kicking off at noon at the Kennedy Center, as we mentioned, and the event is surely expected to get a helping hand from Hollywood. Now, the big headliners are Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal, while supermodel Heidi Klum is set to co-host today's event, alongside funny man Kevin Hart and Marvel star Danny Ramirez. Meantime, lending their talents for today's entertainment is also Nicole Scherzinger, Andrea Bocelli, and Robbie Williams. Now, once the draw has concluded, the Village People are set to perform the YMCA as FIFA hands out its inaugural Peace Prize, which recognizes exceptional actions for peace. We're also learning that President Trump is set to be in attendance at today's ceremony, again happening at the Kennedy Center. Guys?
Yeah, I mean, as is the leaders of Mexico and Canada. So, I mean, we talk about the global impact of this event, right? There's a big geopolitical spin to it as well, in addition to the soccer itself and the game. But we've seen that over the years because
sports diplomacy.
The World Cup is one of these events that literally could be on a different continent each time.
In addition, so many players, former players, and coaches and current coaches are here. I mean, it's a who's who. You pick your team. You can find somebody famous from your country out there today.
Yeah, and literally just about every luxury hotel in D.C. is filled with either players, media, FIFA staffers. I mean, the check-ins and all the lobbies. I mean, it's a who's who right now in the world of soccer. Today and tomorrow, they're going to do more announcements tomorrow as far as some of the actual scheduling for
so
some of
just
the
hang
games.
out in the lobby and for a potential sighting.
Well, listen, if that's your thing, it might not be a bad weekend to do it.
You're here.
The hotel bars will be busy, I'm sure. Coming up, all you need to know about the draw, the 48 teams, as Tucker had mentioned earlier, that's 16 more than the 32 we've had in the past. We got you covered on how it all works coming up.
And remember, Fox 5 is your home for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We'll be right back with so much more.
Welcome back. It is a huge day for soccer fans all over the world as the 2026 FIFA World Cup Draw is happening right here in D.C. There is the media room at the Kennedy Center. Everybody's getting ready to send their broadcasts all around the world as to what is happening and who will play whom in next year's World Cup. It will determine the group stage matches. Soccer legend Rio Ferdinand will conduct that draw at the ceremony that begins in about 45 minutes or so. I want to welcome back soccer analyst Sebastian Salazar, sports agent Doug Eldridge, to our coverage this morning as we talk about this. So in a nutshell, what we're doing is there's 48 teams that are going to play in the World Cup, right? They will be in 12. This is not math. This is not heavy math involved, okay? They'll be in 12 groups of 4 teams each, okay? That's going to be what sets for the tournament. To get them in those 12 groups of 4, there are 4 groups of 12 that you call these pods. So there's 12 countries in each one of these pods. This is sacrilege for soccer fans, I know. But if you think about it as kind of like your group of maybe first-round draft picks, second-round, third-round, fourth-round draft picks, each group gets one of each of those, except we're not drafting. They're assigned.
Exactly. So pot 1 is in theory the best teams in the world, the teams that are performing the best in the moment. Pot 2 a little bit less, pot 3 a little bit less. Pot 4 in theory are the weakest teams. Usually the U.S. would be pot 2 or pot 3. Right now they're pot 1, and that's huge because that means you avoid the real blue bloods, the real threats to win the World Cup in that group phase, which is the first step. You have to survive to have any chance of doing something big.
Advantage USA. Now, when it comes to Team USA, there's still a lot of question marks out there, right?
Right.
Well, look, we have youth on our side.
Yes, we
right?
do.
The downside is with youth generally comes lack of experience. But I think, pausing for just a second, there's going to be a proverbial changing of the guard with this World Cup, right? We're seeing Ronaldo, we're seeing Messi, both those guys coming up to and coming on the other side of 40. So this might be the last World Cup for some of the global icons. So you look at some of the players like we referenced earlier, from France, Kylian, but also on Team USA, right? You've got Christian, you've got Tyler, you've got Weston. We have a wealth of youth and talent. How's it going to matriculate?
Yeah, and it's some guys who are playing at like the biggest clubs in the world, which you've never really had in the United States before. You mentioned Christian Pulisic. I think he's the main guy. There's a reason his nickname is Captain America, right? Yeah. He's playing right now at a truly globally elite level. I don't think we've ever really been able to say that about an American field player, maybe about a goalie. So he's the guy that's going to stir the drink for this team. There's also another big component for this American team, the manager, Mauricio Pochettino. If you want to know how much the U.S. Soccer Federation cares about having a big World Cup, the last coach, he was being paid about $1.5 million a year. Pochettino, who has the best resume we've ever had for an American coach, he's on $6 million a year. So U.S. Soccer's all in on making this the best World Cup ever for this team.
$6 million worth of pressure, though, to make sure that we succeed on U.S. soil. And I'll ask you this question, Sebastian, because earlier this morning, Steve Birnbaum joined us, longtime D.C. United player and former captain, who played for Team USA. And one of the things that I asked him is that how do you put that best team together? And he said, to your point of the Messis and the Ronaldos of the world, you can't just have one superstar and expect to win a World Cup. It's the guys that play together the best. So manager's got some work to do.
Absolutely. It's a very, very deep pool, which is a good thing, except that means there's a lot of decisions to be made. So you're going to take 26 guys to the World Cup. We know probably that first 18, but there's still a good 6 to 8 spots on the end of the roster, and there's some key position battles. We don't really know who the starting forward is going to be. That's the guy who scores all the goals. We don't really know who the starting goalie is going to be. That's a huge position as well. So we can have a lot of enthusiasm about this U.S. team, but we got a lot of questions as well.
We'll find out today who they're going to play, at least, in the first 3 matches of the World Cup. And that decision is down at the Kennedy Center, and that's where Chad Ricardo is this morning with more for us. Chad?
That's right, Steve. And here at the Kennedy Center, you can feel the anticipation building. We're here right now in the media center, where, as you can see out here, there are hundreds of media members who are ready to send this information back to everywhere that they are to let them know exactly where their respective teams will be playing. This is an exciting moment to give you a bit of a lay of the land here at the Kennedy Center. There is red carpet. There's anticipated to be stars who are going to participate in the draw show today. We've heard names such as Tom Brady being here, Kevin Hart, Shaquille O'Neal being here as well, because this, the FIFA World Cup Draw, is truly a world event, and all of the red carpet has literally been rolled out just for this. One of the most exciting things, again, for those of us, especially here in the United States, we're going to find out where these teams are going to play. The host sites in the States are going to be Atlanta. They're going to be Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, San Francisco, as well as Seattle. 12 groups. We're going to find out coming up. Steve?
Chad, thank you so very much. You know, we were just talking about it with the celebrity aspect of things. This is something new, and this is something that FIFA obviously wants to change with the World Cup being in the U.S., right? You're talking a halftime show at the final. You're talking about the celebrity involvement, televising this draw, which we haven't done before. And the celebs are already getting some pressure out there, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was just mentioning to you, Shaquille O'Neal, he's in charge of Pot 2. The entire country of Croatia is now, hey, Shaquille O'Neal holds our future in his hands. But it's crazy. Actually, you talk celebrities. YouTube 1994 World Cup Draw and watch what Robin Williams did. You want to have a good laugh. Celebrities were involved back in the day, and it was Robin Williams at his very best. Unscripted TV, and I don't think the folks at FIFA were quite ready for it. I think it'll be much more scripted today down at the Kennedy
We'll see what happens today now, 31 years later, that we have the Cup back on U.S. soil. All right, we'll show you some Cup trivia as well. The last World Cup was in Qatar, and it reached an estimated 1.5 billion, with a B, viewers globally. The Super Bowl viewership, 115 million. So that's like 13 times the Super Bowl viewership for the World Cup. That's how big of a deal it is. We have our coverage continuing until we turn things over to Fox at 11:30. We'll see you after this.
back, and what you see on your screen is that fabulous red carpet that's about to get underway at the Kennedy Center. We know that the World Cup Draw is about to be underway in just a few minutes. Let's see who we can see on the red carpet. You know that several huge name celebrities are making their way to D.C.
Not just that, but listen, the head of FIFA himself is a huge celebrity, and then you're also going to get the leaders of a number of nations who are here, in addition to what we consider our celebrities, right? The Kevin Harts of the world and the Tom Bradys of the world, as they are going to be watching through. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's keep an eye on that. We'll see if we see any familiar faces on the red carpet.
You know what I'm hoping for, Steve?
What's that?
I want to see Shaq and Kevin Hart take a picture
Everybody
together.
wants that shot of Shaq and Kevin Hart. And you know what? Somebody's going to get it, because they're both good people, and I think that they would get a kick out of it as well.
Hilarious.
What we want to do is have a literal toast to the World Cup with some crafted cocktails, and this is Beyond Happy Hours. Danielle Edwards joining us to showcase some of the host countries of the tournament. Good to see you, Danielle.
Good to see you, too.
So clearly you're rocking Team USA.
Absolutely.
Which we appreciate the most. But we got drinks to represent all the nations, right?
Absolutely, we do. Here we have our Canadian Corner Kick. All right, so this is 2 ounces of Crown Royal Canadian whiskey, which is the world's leading Canadian whiskey. It has an ounce and a half of cranberry juice, a 1/4 ounce of pomegranate syrup, and just a little bit.
Oh no,
a little bit of ginger beer.
He's on his Vanna White.
I was saving you the time, so I already pre-made it for you.
Okay.
And then we garnish it a little bit with a cherry and a nice Canadian flag.
We'll do a big toast once we all get
Tucker,
drinks.
you've got that one. All right, so for our friends who are fans of Team Mexico, what do you have?
All right, so we have the world's leading tequila, which is Jose Cuervo, and our Offside Oasis. So our Offside Oasis also have 2 ounces of the Jose Cuervo tequila. It has an ounce and a half of Midori melon liqueur.
That's what gives it the green color.
That's what gives it the green color. And it also has about 2 ounces of fresh pressed pineapple ginger juice that I made in my juicer myself.
I'm on that one. Oh,
Yes.
your juices.
Yes, I juice. So we're going to be a little healthy. It's going to be nice and hot during the FIFA, so we need to be refreshed and things like that.
All
okay?
this smells
that's
fantastic.
good.
I know that's a
Thank
side
you.
note, but I'm just saying.
That's good.
What about this one, last
All
but
right.
certainly not least?
Last but certainly not least, to represent the United States, of course, I have to go with the blue color like I did with the other colors here. We're going to make a USA goal getter because we want to get those goals for the United States, right?
Okay.
We need
All
them.
right.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to go ahead and make that for you. We're going to use about 2 ounces of Tito's American vodka.
It's okay if you go 3 there, I think.
Oh, that's right. Tito's is not only the America's highest selling spirit, it's also America's favorite vodka.
Now, wait, was that a heavy pour for one drink, or are we making more than one in there?
Well, this was a little bit for Tucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get the one that's pre-made.
All
All right,
What else we have?
next one, we're going to use a little bit of Hypnotic, which also has vodka in it. I know it's a flashback to
Yes.
early 2000s.
Doubling down.
To my college days.
You're in the club now, Maria.
Yeah, it took me all the way back.
And then we're going to use a 1/4 ounce of blue Curacao.
Oh,
all right.
nice.
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to juice a half of a lemon. Thank you so much. Just get some fresh squeezed juice in there.
Get a little acid in there. to
Just a little
offset
bit of
all the-
acid.
all the alcohol that we put in there.
There you
listen,
go.
while you shake that up, I want to bring Doug and Sebastian back in here, because we need to wrap
It's a
the show up with a toast. And these guys have been working hard for us as well to celebrate all the teams that are playing in the World Cup.
Did you say hypnotic?
I didn't say hypnotic.
That's a Wayback Machine.
Yes, I think I'm one of the people that still keeps Hypnotic in business. And then we're going to garnish it with a lemon wheel that has a little bit of blue edible glitter on it.
Oh, look at that.
It's got your name on it.
Yes,
Where can folks find out more about Beyond Happy Hour?
You can go to my website, beyondhappyhour.com, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond Happy Hour also.
There's the
Okay, guys,
information
let's do
right
a
there.
big toast
Yes.
to the World Cup draw, having the games here on
Have a great afternoon.
Go for that. Go
Enjoy
for
the snow
Canada.
day, and the best part, when
I'm
your
so
team wins or
short.
loses, after a couple drinks, you feel great.
Yes!
You can drink the success, or you can drink the heartbreak. However it comes out of your team.
And be sure to keep it with us, Fox Local, in fact, in that app handy. We're going to continue to follow the weather, scan the QR code on your screen, and also, of course, what's happening here on your screen.
Thank you guys all for coming in today, helping us with our coverage. We're going to turn things over to our friends at Fox Sports, and they're going to take you through the actual draw process. Enjoy it. Go. We'll see you on Monday morning.
streaming and unscripted, host Guy Lambert gets to the significance of the stories.
I'll steer you through local breaking news and developing events. If it's happening, you'll see it here.
Stream Fox 5 Live Zone on Fox Local weekdays from noon to 2 p.m. with your smart TV app.
Live. And that means it's time for a special edition of the Live Zone right here on Fox Local and Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. Right now, you are taking a live look at some pictures from across the region and beyond. That's King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, but you just saw Woodbridge, Virginia. We've seen Leonardtown. There's Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Many, many more cameras coming your way, and on a lot of them, you are going to see one thing, and that is snowflakes. We have been tracking the snow all morning long, so much so that we came on a half an hour earlier than normal. I'm producer Chris, filling in for Guy Lambert today, and I am going to throw 2 S words at you over the next 2.5 hours, because not only are we talking about snow, we are talking about soccer. The World Cup Draw happening today in Washington, D.C., and you are taking a live look at the red carpet where the President of the United States has just arrived. Donald Trump playing a major role in bringing the World Cup to the Kennedy Center. That is where this event is happening today. It looks like he's speaking to the media right now. Not sure if we can hear anything on that channel, Joey.
They have a little bit of a shot. It's pretty stiff competition, but I would say they would have a small chance.
What does it mean? You're going to win the FIFA Peace Award.
Well, that'd be an honor.
You're going to root for some selection. You want to root for someone?
Yeah, well, I root for a lot of countries, actually, but in this case, I'm rooting for the USA.
What does it mean, Mr. President?
Mr. President, have you been told that you are going to receive the inaugural Peace Prize today from FIFA?
I have not been told. There's a rumor about it, but I have not been told. That would be a great honor, and I'm a big fan of Johnny, as you know.
Are you hoping to receive that?
Excuse me?
Are you hoping to receive the Peace Prize?
Well, I don't like to say hope, but it would be a great honor.
What can fans expect of the World Cup here in the U.S.?
I think it's going to be fantastic. We've set every record you can set.
What are you telling people who are worried?
Johnny from Swiss TV, a word about him?
I think he has done a fantastic job.
Are you going to be meeting with the President of Mexico today and the Prime Minister of Canada as well?
I might
Will you be discussing immigration and trade with them?
Discussing.
Can we go here for you go first, please.
That is 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, what do you think about the crowd?
Look, the new star of the president. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The new star of television.
How you doing,
Fox.
Mr. President?
I'm doing very well.
What do you think about the crowd here?
I think the crowd is great, and I think the building is great. We've made a lot of improvements over the last 6 months. Taking Kennedy Center was in very bad shape. Now it's getting to be really good, and in 6 months it's going to be incredible, the improvements we've made.
First time for the U.S. to host since the 90s.
Right.
You ready for it?
I'm ready for it, and they're ready for it. And Johnny, who you know, has done a fantastic job with FIFA. And we're looking to have, we have already set records with ticket sales. I don't think there's ever been anything like it in any sport. And so I want to congratulate you. I don't even have to wait. But major records have been set. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Today is not football, American football. It's soccer. It's a big event.
That's right.
What can you tell me about this? Big day.
It's just a big day, and it's a great sport, and it really is coming to America. And nobody ever thought a thing like this could happen. And I'm very happy to say that we've already set the all-time record on ticket sales long before the first ball is kicked. Right?
100%. You've had some concerns about crime in American cities, some of the cities that'll be hosting. Have they remedied that for you, or are you still considering maybe asking FIFA to move some of those cities?
No, I don't want to do that, but I will tell you if they do have a problem, by the time we get there, we'll take care of that problem. We can solve that problem. I've proven that in D.C. and everywhere else we went, so we'll take care of that very easily. So if they have a problem, hopefully they'll let us know that, and we will solve any problem. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
President, Brazilian television. America will be hosting the World Cup and the Olympics in 2 years. How important it is?
Yeah, so obviously a lot of anticipation for what today is. You got a lot of big names here, not
We've set every record on
the Mexican president here as well. The Prime Minister of Canada, both of those countries are also hosting World Cup games. But wanted to ask for something that will champion here in American cities.
Not only that, I got to see a man named Pelé play. That tells you how old I am. He was on the Cosmos. I remember that a long time ago, and it was quite a treat.
Maybe after we think of some of those games that you heard say it right there, that if there are issues, they'll get it handled. They want to keep the games where they are. A lot of other things that got to see Pelé, we've seen. And I assume he's one of you all
You have some favorite line. This is the first time that the U.S. Well, I have the favorite is the USA. I don't know what the chances are, John. The USA is
getting better and better, actually. They're getting better and better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So you hear the excitement from the president. The American economy. The president has said they've already sold 6 to 7 million tickets for the games, and we've also heard them come up with something called this FIFA Pass to bring people to America. With Marco Rubio essentially saying that if you're on the FIFA Pass, if you buy tickets to the games, if you want to come to the United States, you'll get an expedited meeting.
Okay, you're just a minute on your feet. You're fine.
You good over? Yeah.
How are you? Sir? You all right? How's your shirt? Still good. Isaac, I love the blowout. Thank you. It's called Snow Fresh. No, I'm stroking.
All right, you've been watching President Trump's arrival at the Kennedy Center on the red carpet for World Cup Draw Day alongside FIFA President Gianni Infantino. He's been talking about the ticket sales. You also heard a little bit of a spoiler alert that he's set to receive what they're calling the inaugural Peace Prize, FIFA Peace Prize. At the same time this is happening, though, and we're going to keep our eyes on this because once we can hear the president speaking again, we will go back to that. Right now, it sounds like he's kind of in between microphones that we're able to hear, but we're also keeping another eye on the skies because that snow continuing to fall out there. Luckily, though, we have a man who can do both at the same time, because when you think Tucker Barnes, the two things you think are snow and soccer, and so
there's a third word in there, Chris.
Sexy.
It starts with an S. Sexy. Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah. So let's get back to some of those.
You heard of sexy
pictures.
Dexy.
Tucker's going to talk about the snow
and
soccer at the same time because those are the only two things that he's good at.
You said it yourself, and I can't argue that point, Chris. I mean, you're right. You want to talk soccer or snow?
Well, we're going to
sexy.
Let's talk snow first because I know a lot of people out there wondering how long it's going to keep falling, how much is going to
It's
fall
Friday.
in your
It's
area.
Friday. I wanted to
also
talk.
know a lot of kids out there either had a late start to the school day or off entirely. So they might be sitting at home looking for Uncle Tucker to talk to them about snow and soccer.
I'm ready to talk. Listen, there's nothing better than like Prince George's County, Loudoun County this morning. They had the 2-hour delay and then went to a full cancellation.
Full closure, yeah.
On a Friday,
Keeping
3-day
you on
weekend.
pins and needles, baby.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's hop in, show you some numbers, and I want to start with this. Reagan National, as of 10 a.m., 1.1 inches of snow. So we have officially already had our first inch of snow in Washington this year. That's a big deal in the weather world.
That's a huge deal.
Very
And
early.
If memory serves, that was the prediction for the winter weather outlook.
Chris,
that I
you know
remember.
what? You're doing me a favor right now by making my life easier and making me feel good about myself. Yes, we did think winter was going to be front-loaded and arrive a little early. Sure enough, it's here. And it's here to stay, as we're going to be talking about temperatures, which are not going to budge a lot. Those are some accumulation totals as of an hour ago, and I'll update these numbers, but between about 1 and 2 inches across the area.
Okay.
So we've had some pretty impressive snow totals for our first snow of the season. It is still snowing out there for parts of the area. It is lightening up. It is starting to taper off. This is Reston Station, and I want you to see for the midday hours, your temperatures are only in the 20s, So later today, you know, one of the questions I'm getting, will the sun come out? Will it be 52 degrees later today? Will all this disappear? No, the answer is no, it will not. So just be extra cautious out on roads. Sidewalks are slippery, that kind of thing. Anything that's fallen from the sky that has had a chance to stick to a surface will still be around later today. It'll be a slippery afternoon for sure. Let me just show you quickly the satellite and the radar, and it is featuring a quieting scene. There is this one band which continues to be kind of parked right across. See that? Chris, play along with me. See that purple right inside the beltway? Heaviest of the snow in the entire area is in that little pocket right there inside the beltway, and it continues to come down pretty good clip here. Visibilities have been reduced to less than a mile in some spots, and in some cases a quarter to a half inch of snow an hour. That's a pretty good little band of snow. That will continue to kind of fade away, and we will be looking at quieter conditions this afternoon. If you look out to the west, there's almost nothing on it. Agreed?
I agree.
Okay, thank you for playing. This forecast will verify. We will generally get about an inch of snow in the immediate Washington area, just to the south, more like 1 to 3. In fact, as I just showed you, a lot of 2+ inches down there already. And for our first snow of the season, a pretty good one. Going forward tonight, tomorrow, just cold and dry. So 34, that's the afternoon forecast with just clouds for most of your afternoon. Your weekend, we will get a chance to melt off a little bit with temps in the 40s, but a quiet weekend ahead.
Quiet weekend ahead. I love the fact that that final graphic before the 7-day, even the 7-day has the Christmas lights on it, because nothing makes those Christmas lights sparkle better than a little dusting of snow on the bushes.
So, Chris, let me just mention quickly, I was mentioning this on the air earlier today. I cannot remember the last time we had our national Christmas tree lit and then snow within 12 hours of it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So we lit it last night, and then we had the snow this morning, and it's beautiful scenes across the area today.
All right, so let's go back to that live picture of President Trump on the red carpet. Tucker, thank you. Talk to me a little bit about this FIFA World Cup draw and how big of a deal this is, too, but also the fact that when we think World Cup and we think soccer, we don't necessarily think snow usually.
No, in fact, we'll be complaining about the heat when this World Cup comes about, and we'll all be complaining because the games will be in the middle of the afternoon, so they can accommodate a lot of European viewers. You have to think about it down the road.
Change.
Yeah, because of the time change. So this is huge. What's different this go-around is they've added 16 teams. There are 48 teams, so much more of the world community is going to participate in the World Cup. And that gives, you know what I love? Listen, we all love the powerhouse teams, the Englands, the Spains, the Germanys.
The Argentinas.
Yeah, but what I really love are the little teams, you know, the teams you don't expect to make the World Cup, the Scotlands and Moroccos, and some of the African countries are so fun to watch. They play a really interesting brand, completely different style of soccer than some other countries. So it'll be fun to see how they all get mixed together and who plays who here. You know, all the powerhouse teams are going to be separated for this draw. They're not going to play each other in the first round because we don't want to eliminate the real big teams, the Argentinas and Brazils.
Got to keep it. Got to keep the viewers.
So it'll be really interesting. But in the past, you know, the United States has been paired up with England. We famously played Iran back in the day, I think in France. And, you know, when the U.S., when we had the World Cup here in '94, the U.S. advanced, I think, to the round of 16. We lost to Brazil famously on the 4th of July. So this is a big deal, and I think you know, I know this is just the start of it, but you know, when you see world leaders showing up, you know it's a big deal.
Since we're two of the older guys here at Fox 5, let's go back to 1994 because that was a huge deal. Actually, last night on the Live Zone Primetime, I got to talk to the former U.S. president, the president of U.S. Soccer, who oversaw not only the draw but the World Cup, which ended up being the most successful World Cup ever. But one of the major changes that he instituted was making the draw a must-see event. It was in Las Vegas. Robin Williams was on stage
look
with
at this.
Sepp Blatter. Blatter, T-T-E-R, because that was one of the jokes that apparently Robin Williams kept making. And they really turned it into a spectacle. And it appears that President Trump really took a page out of that playbook because we are talking stars like Kevin Hart, Danny Ramirez, Heidi Klum hosting today's event. Plus, Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Wayne Gretzky, and Aaron Judge serving as a sort of representation of some of America's major sports. And this crossover event, they're going to be draw assistants as well.
Yeah, so what's really fascinating to me is we're watching the president here talking. He's talking to foreign press. So, you know, in our country, we're all talking about soccer, and some of us are excited, and some of us are like, yeah, I like baseball or whatever. But the rest of the world, all they care about is soccer. Right. So this is a must-watch for them. I'm sure across the globe right now, everybody is, you know, pinned to their TV and their social media, waiting to find out who their teams are paired up with, and it's a really big deal. The other point I want to make is, and I've been hearing from our viewers all day, we have all kinds of celebrities that I'm not familiar with, famous coaches and players from other countries that are here to be involved in the draw, to be involved in the spectacle. And, you know, you can be from Ecuador or Colombia or one of these smaller countries, and some of your biggest celebrities, some of your biggest soccer heroes are here today. So it's really for the world stage.
Yeah. Joey, are we able to hear President Trump again? Let's take a live look full back in that and see if we can hear anything.
Mr. President, the U.S. press.
Thank you, everybody, very much. It's a great honor. This has been an honor for a lot of reasons. Number one, they've sold more tickets than any event has ever sold already, long before the kickoff. And number two, we've done a lot of work at the Kennedy Center. It was falling apart, and now it's pretty much back, and we'll get it back within the next 4 or 5 months through construction. But you see the way it looks, and Johnny's just telling me, who's done an incredible job, by the way. He's just telling, you know, how good a job we've done. You can look at the walls, the marble was broken, everything, it was a mess. And we've really taken the Kennedy. So a lot of people thought it was going to be ripped down, and we did just the opposite. So we've done a really great renovation job on it, and over the next 3 or 4 months it'll be complete, and we're honored to have it here. And it's been very special. We've set a record on ticket sales, as you probably heard already, even long before the event itself. And we're working with Canada, and we're working with Mexico, and it's been a really spectacular. So far, it's been spectacular. Daniel, do you have a question?
What are your expectations? You once said that the FIFA World Cup was an opportunity to put, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to put the greatness of the United States on display.
Well,
1 billion eyeballs to be watching, Mr. President.
Yeah, I think even today I understand. I hear that, you know, I know we're a little late to get in there, but it's okay.
They wait.
So are my friends. I guess they have to wait there.
Yeah, they wait.
But no, the numbers are incredible. I hear today's numbers are very big. I hope CNN is covering
They 1
this,
billion
because
eyeballs.
Today's numbers are very, very
You're
big.
expected to get the FIFA Peace Prize, Mr. President. What would you say to people who say that prize might conflict with your pledge to strike Venezuela?
Well, I think the Peace Prize, I mean, I settled 8 wars. I don't know that I'm getting it. I haven't been officially noticed. I've been hearing about a Peace Prize, and I'm here to represent our country in a different sense. But I can tell you I did settle 8 wars, and we have a 9th coming, which nobody's ever done before. But I want to really save lives. I don't need prizes. I need to save lives, and we're saving a lot of lives. I've saved millions and millions of lives, and that's really what I want to do. And I also want to run a great country. And the United States right now is the hottest country anywhere in the world. And 1 year ago it was dead. We had a dead country, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Canada and Mexico, Mr. But what are you going to discuss with the leaders?
Well, we're going to meet with both, and we're getting along very well. You know, we're getting along very well. I don't know. I think we have a meeting set up for sometime after the event.
We should discuss trade.
Yeah, we'll discuss trade. We get along very well. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Will
you pardon any other Honduran officials?
Do you want them to keep trying to indict Tish James?
Thank you, press. Let's go. On the travel pool, we're going to go right behind this black curtain.
All right, so you have been listening to President Trump work the red carpet on this World Cup Draw Day happening right here in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center. Complete coverage of that draw is going to happen over on Fox 5. You can tune into that, or you can stay with us. We will give you updates as they come in, even though we can't technically show them. But we still have a lot on our plate because, like Tucker was just talking about before we went back to President Trump, it is a snow day. It is a Fox 5 snow day here in the DMV. Our first major test when it comes to winter weather. So we want to bring in MDOT Media Relations Manager Shante Felix joining us now live on the Live Zone. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so if you could talk to me a little bit about some of the trouble spots that we are seeing so far.
The good thing about this storm is we prepared for it. We pre-treated the roads yesterday, and that entails applying a brine solution to the roads to prevent it from getting slippery once the snow falls. And all morning long, we've been asking people to curtail travel if they can while our crews are out there, and we're continuing to apply our materials to the roads. We have about 1,500 pieces of equipment on the road, and we're continually asking people to take it slow on ice and snow.
Okay, so what are you anticipating happening throughout the course of the rest of the afternoon? Are you seeing reduced travel right now? Are the crews staying out there looking for trouble spots?
Our crews are still out there looking for trouble spots. We remind people that elevated surfaces such as bridges and ramps, they tend to freeze first. So we advise people to take extra caution on those if you have to go out. If you see our equipment, please don't crowd our equipment. We're here to get you to your destination safely. So try to leave 2 or 3 car lengths between us and drive extra carefully today. Speed limits are for ideal weather conditions. Weather like this, you want to drive maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour slower than the speed limit sign.
So we were kind of talking earlier with Tucker about how a lot of our winter storms kind of work their way west to east, and some of those westernmost Maryland counties are the first ones to see the snow. Today was a little bit different since it came up from the south, and some of our southern counties were hardest hit. Did that affect how you kind of distribute resources, and some of those drivers maybe that don't see as much action every time called into service first?
It was different, but it didn't change our method. Our crews around the state were constantly talking to each other and communicating with each other what we're doing on the roads at any given time. And when a storm like this, or any storm is coming, we're in constant conversations throughout the day about how resources are being deployed.
So in terms of it being our first major test out there on the roads, what happens next? Do you guys kind of look at the response and kind of reevaluate, if needed, what happens the next time we face some winter weather across the state?
Well, yes, we communicate about each storm. We communicate throughout the storm. We're currently in emergency operations mode, so we're getting reports every couple hours about what the storm is doing. And then after that, we just prepare for the next one. We communicate about a storm that's coming, and we communicate as it's going on, and we communicate afterwards. So there's a lot of information going out.
Shante, what advice do you have for any drivers who do have to head out on the roads today?
Well, we have a number of resources on our website, roads.maryland.gov. One good thing from that website is if you click on storm, you can see our equipment statewide, anywhere where it's going to go. So you can look at that and check your road and see where we have recently deployed in your neighborhood. Also, you want to go to md511.maryland.gov, and you can see live traffic cameras. But again, if you have to go out, take it slow on ice and snow. Bridges, ramps, elevated surfaces, those are going to be kind of tricky, so you want to drive extra slow in those areas.
And did it help that so many schools decided to institute delays or cancellations today?
It helps when fewer people are on the road. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But we're all, committed to getting everyone to their destination safely.
All right. Shante Felix from MDOT Media Relations Manager, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Live Zone.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are going to stay on top of weather all afternoon long. We still have a little more than 2 hours in the live zone. We're going to take our first break. Coming up next, though, we are going to check in with VDOT for an update on the roads. We're going to take a look at some of the highways around the region as well. We're also going to get another update on the weather. And then a little later, we're going to check in with Bob Barnard live. Bob Barnard is down at U.S. District Court. That's where we are expecting the first court appearance from the suspected pipe bomber, Brian Cole. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Live Zone Prime Time. Not Prime Time, that's the show at 9 p.m. This is just the Live Zone. It is 11:56 in the morning, and you are taking a live look inside the Kennedy Center, where President Trump has made his way to the presidential box for the World Cup draw that's set to get underway in just about 3 minutes. You also see FIFA President Gianni Infantino right next to him, also some other members of the president's administration. The president just working the red carpet. A little bit of a spoiler, but you also heard from some of the reporters that the president is expected to receive the FIFA inaugural Peace Prize. So something else to look for when this gets underway coming up here in just a few minutes. The president, a very busy weekend at the Kennedy Center for the president. He's there today for the World Cup draw. A little later this weekend, on Sunday, he'll be back for the Kennedy Center honors. And the president is kind of making, it's going to be a little more unique this year because he has decided to take on hosting duties. But just a reminder, complete coverage of the World Cup draw happening right now on Fox 5. That the entire draw process will be live beginning at 12 noon. So coming up here in just about 2 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to talk about the other S word, though, a little more. We're going to talk about snow, and we're going to take a look at the roads right now across the region. The live picture you're looking at appears to be Constitution Avenue heading towards the U.S. Capitol. You can just barely make it out under those gray skies. But as you can see, the snow is still falling in the nation's capital. You're also seeing some of the drive times right now. 29 minutes between Quantico and the Beltway. You're taking a live look at the Mixing Bowl right now, a notorious congestion spot. Right now, 26 miles will take you about 29 minutes. Traffic moving at about 54 miles per hour. So not full speed, but not too bad either. You see some less cars than you might see on a normal day right now, and that is good news. Right now, westbound drive time between the Beltway and Virginia 28, about 12 minutes. That's 13 miles, so that's moving at speed, 65 miles per hour. And then eastbound drive time, same way, between Virginia 28 and the Beltway, 13 miles, 13 minutes, moving at a good 60 mile per hour. As we move north a little, I-270 southbound, the drive time between I-70 and the Beltway, 30 minutes. That camera's frozen, but it's I-270 north of Democracy at the spur south. But you see some cars on the road, but the good news is they do appear to be moving. Same here for the outer loop, the drive time between I-95 and 270, 9 miles, 10 minutes, moving at speed, 52 miles per hour. BW Parkway, northbound and southbound. Right now, a little bit slower than normal. The northbound drive time between the Beltway and I-195, 22 minutes, 18 miles, 48 miles per hour. So a little bit of a slowdown there. Southbound drive time, 18 minutes to go 18 miles. So that is moving at speed. Taking an overview of the region right now, a lot of green on there, and that's good news. That means hopefully drivers got the message, are staying off the roads, letting those road crews do what they need to do. A couple yellow spots, a couple red spots, most of them downtown. That's no major surprise. But as you can see, the Beltway, 95, 295, 66, all moving at speed right now, even as that snow continues to fall. All right, Joey, where are we going next?
Let's go to Bob.
Let's go to Bob Barner. Bob Barner joining us now live. Bob is outside of U.S. District Court, downtown D.C. That is where the pipe bomb suspect arrested yesterday in Woodbridge, Virginia, is expected to make his first court appearance. But Bob also braving the elements because we can see the snow falling behind him as well. And Bob, just about Brian Cole, we did get some new information that he has reportedly admitted to his role in this case.
That's right, Chris. Fox News is reporting that Brian Cole spoke at length with the FBI, and he told them that he was not happy about the results of the 2020 presidential election, thought the election had been stolen from Donald Trump, and that was apparently, according to Fox News and the sources that they've been reaching out to, the motivation behind what Brian Cole is alleged to have done. And apparently he has admitted to doing this. We'll find out more in court. We're told maybe about 1 o'clock this afternoon when he'll be formally presented before a federal judge here at the federal courthouse in downtown D.C., where it is, yes, still snowing. And because it is a federal courthouse, we can't transmit from inside. So still out in the elements, which are kind of pretty neat for early December. And we'll see if there are any family members or friends of Cole who show up in court. You know, he's from Manassas. His family has a bail bonds business based in Fairfax. So we'll see if he's got any supporters, what the judge will do in terms of holding him or what have you. You would expect that to be the case. I think it's interesting, Chris. You know, I mean, according to the sources that are speaking to Fox News, Brian Cole spoke at length, admitted to placing the pipe bombs the night before January 6th, on January 5th of 2021. And is apparently portraying himself as a supporter of Donald Trump. You know, there's a track record of if you say you support Donald Trump, at least by this Department of Justice under the Trump administration, they might go easy on you. So was that his real motivation, or is that what he's telling the FBI, telling them what he thinks they want to hear? Who knows? But it is an interesting development this morning.
Yeah, Bob, I was actually going to, we're going to talk politics in our next hour. But that was one of the questions that I had is, you know, we saw members of President Trump's administration, Attorney General Pamela Bondi, Director of the FBI Kash Patel, stand there and, I mean, for lack of a better phrase, take a little bit of a victory lap for this arrest yesterday, especially talking about the lack of progress made on the case with the previous presidential administration. And then yet we find out, according to these sources and according to these reports from Fox News, the president's own rhetoric about the election being stolen may have then led this person to take action. I'm just kind of curious whether we'll hear anything from the White House about that.
I guess people will for sure ask. I don't know if we'll hear any kind of response to that. I will tell you, I was at that news conference with the Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, the Deputy Director, and Pamela Smith was there, the DC Police Chief. And they were all, not all, Chief Smith didn't do this, but the others were blasting the Biden administration for basically doing nothing about this investigation initially. And for the last, 4 years before Donald Trump's administration took over in January of this year. And so, they were taking a victory lap, blasting the Biden administration for doing nothing, telling us that there was really no new evidence or new tips that led to the arrest of Brian Cole, but just that there was a lot of information there that the FBI had, that they put new people on it, the terrorism task force working on it as well. And by doing a lot of good detective work, I mean, they were able to track down allegedly the pipe bomb components that they allege Brian Cole bought at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart stores, kitchen timers from the Walmart, that he made his own black powder, and that his car was hit with a license plate reader coming off 395 on South Capitol Street about the time, the night of January 5th, 2021, when a person was captured on camera. The videos we've seen of people placing these placing these two devices outside the Republican and Democratic National Party headquarters up on Capitol Hill, devices that never exploded, that weren't found till the next day, and that it was all that and also cell phone data that allegedly showed Brian Cole's cell phone in the area of these two locations that night at about that time, 7:45 to around 8:30, the night before January 6th. So that apparently all that information was there. They're blasting the Trump administration, top law enforcement officials, the Biden administration for doing nothing. And lo and behold, apparently the man that they've been after and celebrating capturing says he's a Trump supporter.
Bob, last question for you, and then I'll let you go get warm. I know neither of us are legal experts, but does this initial court hearing take on new importance if the suspect has confessed?
Well, it'll be interesting. I mean, we're hearing that he's confessed. Rarely, and we may be surprised, rarely in cases like this does the person just come out and say, yeah, I'm guilty. They usually plead not guilty to then work the system a little bit to see if they can't maybe come up with a plea deal. So I would expect, even though he's allegedly admitted to doing this, that it'll probably be not guilty pleas to at least the two counts that are leveled against him. The transporting an explosive device and the intent to maliciously wound people with those devices. So who knows? I mean, we're going by sources from the FBI to Fox News that he's admitted doing this and is a Trump supporter. But I would expect he'll probably plead not guilty and be held, without bail till his next court hearing. But as you mentioned, Chris, we're not legal experts. Maybe we'll be surprised. All right. Well, Bob, before I let you go, just for old time's sake, I do miss and love weather coverage. No one does it like Bob Barnard. If you haven't seen the clip of Bob rescuing a puppy in the snow, still one of the greatest moments of all time. So, Bob, just for all time's sake, give me a quick forecast/weather report from where you are. Well, I'll tell you what, look at this. This is, I didn't do this, someone else did, but on the back of this truck, I think we've got about 2 inches of snow here, very light. So if you haven't been out and there is snow on your car or truck, it'll come off very easily. But take a look. I don't know if this is my cell phone showing you this, but it's a pretty looking view here. A gray day, a gray Friday, but it's pretty here at the U.S. Capitol across the street from the federal courthouse. But I thought the snow was going to stop in the morning, and it's already afternoon. So what's going on? Excellent question. But in speaking as both a producer and the host of a show that goes on for another hour and 52 minutes, best case scenario for me. Keep it going. All right. Keep the snow falling. Bob Barnard, outside of U.S. District Court, thank you so much for joining us.
Brian Cole expected in court around 12:30. If you hear any updates, we'll check back in. We'll also have updates coming up on the DMV zone at 3 p.m. and Fox 5 News at 4, 5, and 6. We had Bob wrap and end on a weather note because we do want to get back out to the snow and the current conditions. So joining us now live is from Virginia Department of Transportation, my old friend and former colleague, Alex Liggett, joining me now live. Alex, how are you? Long time no see.
I'm great. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. We're both in different positions than the last time that we hung out, as you can see. But first, I just want to ask about what's happening right now. Where do things stand when it comes to VDOT, and are there any trouble spots that you're keeping a close eye on?
Yeah, we had a few trouble spots earlier this morning, say 8:30ish. That's really when the band was kind of set up across southern Fairfax County and Prince William, and some of the snow was starting to overcome some of the pre-treatment. So we had crews get out there. We're not completely done yet. Temperatures right now still in the upper 20s. Everything out there that looks wet, you just have to watch those elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, ramps. Just be mindful on those and, drive for the conditions. I saw a lot of people when I was driving in this morning, they were going over the speed limit. This may not be the best day to do that. We don't advise it on any day, but, even when there's dry roads, not a good idea. But when we have any kind of this wet weather with temperatures in the upper 20s, not a good combination. So, please try to keep that speed low. Also, ditch the distractions. And, later on tonight, we're expecting the temperatures dip back in the mid-20s for the overnight hours per the National Weather Service forecast. So it's something we're keeping a close eye on. We'll continue to have a few crews available overnight for emergency call-outs.
Alex, I was listening to you talk to Jacqueline Matter over on Good Day a little earlier this morning, and you used the phrase that this was a good test for our snow legs. So talk to me a little bit about what we saw on this first major dose of winter weather that we've seen, and what advice you have for drivers moving forward.
First and foremost, I completely stole that term from my boss, Mima. She came up with that as absolutely a genius way to go about saying it because, we're getting an inch and a half of snow, some spots 2 inches. This is the perfect way to, get your snow legs under you and you get a little practice into the early winter here. December 5th we're looking at. We still have a lot of winter to go. And it's just something this time where you're like, okay, how can I better prepare for next time? For us, we tell people, you can always use stuff that we have, such as our 511 app. You can also find that online at 511.vdot.virginia.gov. You can check on road conditions, road cameras, pavement temperatures, all of that. Also, reporting icy conditions. Perfect way to do that is my.vdot.virginia.gov. We have a lot of resources. That takes about 2 minutes to log into your phone, say, oh, okay, so at this intersection, we have an icy spot. Please come and get that. That goes directly to our area headquarters, have a crew out there. So it's just a way of, trying to get people prepped and ready for the next one. And of course, start stocking your vehicle. Make sure you have water, blankets, cell phone charger, all that good stuff available. Maybe some kitty litter, because it seems like the next couple of weeks could be colder than normal too. Hopefully, no more big storms on the horizon, but you never do know in DC, so we're ready for it.
So just as the snow starts to taper off, will crews still be out there kind of keeping an eye on the roads? And I asked when we talked to your colleagues from the Maryland side of things just not too long ago, but the fact that so many schools made the decision early to either open late or close entirely, did that really help out crews this morning?
Oh, it really does. That banding was coming through right around the time of my kids were supposed to be at the bus stop. So I'm really happy that, they decided to delay because, allowed some of those road service temperatures to kind of come up a bit with, just the morning sunshine. You see the bright skies now a little bit brighter than just 15 minutes ago when we had that last little band roll through. But that really does help us out a lot in getting to the roads, keeping the majority of people off it so our folks can get out and treat. And also tonight, I did talk to just some of the folks in my office, and they said they will have people coming back in overnight for emergency call-out purposes, just in case, we have any kind of a refreeze overnight with temperatures back in the mid-20s. That's certainly a possibility. Definitely treat anything wet as icy as we head overnight.
All right, Alex Liggett from VDOT, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Live Zone and for the advice. And of course, as always, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
All right, let's get an update on the snow, where it's still coming down, how much longer it could last. And for that, we turn to our in-house expert, chief meteorologist.
By the way, shout out to Alex. He's a former meteorologist extraordinaire.
Oh, I'm very well aware.
Yeah,
That's what I made reference to, the fact that we used to be colleagues because we both worked at another station here in the Washington,
He plays
DC
humble, but
area.
he really knows his weather.
He sure does, and I bet he loves days like today.
Listen, anybody in the weather community loves days like today.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So, the only asterisk I'll put next to a snow day is if you got to go to work and you got to drive in it. That part's not fun.
Right, and that's why we have Alex to keep an eye on those roads.
You got it.
Keep
Okay.
them safe.
Let me hop in and give you the latest on the weather. And just a reminder, generally 1 to 2 inches have fallen. In some cases, a little more than that. We've seen, I was just back in the Weather Center looking at some reports at about 2.5 inches in parts of Stafford County and down near Spotsylvania and that part of the world. So south of town is where we thought we'd get the heaviest snow, and it's delivered. But even to the north there, Gaithersburg and Clarksburg, of course, in Montgomery County getting in over an inch, and Fairfax an inch, and I mentioned Reagan National, our first official inch of the season. The snow is really tapering off. It's still a wintry day for sure. Let's just take it, you know what? Let's all have a moment of just taking in the beauty.
Zen, baby, yeah.
Right?
This is we talked on earlier this week. Obviously, this was our second chance for winter weather. And when I co-hosted the Take It 2 on Monday, we talked about whether we wanted snow or not. And I got buzzed out by saying, yes, I wanted to see some pretty snowflakes because December, this time of year, Tucker, you used to use a phrase, I don't know if you still do, conversational snow.
Yeah.
That I love some conversational snowflakes. No major impact on the roads.
Yeah.
Schools open or closed, whatever they decide. But yeah, it's.
I mean, if you're one of the lucky people that can just kind of sit and watch the flakes go by, it's kind of puts you in a nice
it can be really
restorative state, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Okay, I know. Listen, if the snow's either you love it or you hate it. It doesn't seem like there are too many people in between. But it is what it is, and it's winding down with cold temperatures expected this afternoon. And I just want to emphasize, even though we've only picked up an inch or two, it hasn't been a lot. It's not in a hurry to pack up and leave. I mentioned last hour when I saw you that sometimes, we get 55 degrees on the backside of these and it melts off later that afternoon. That won't happen today. It'll remain very cold tonight and early tomorrow morning. So just be cautious. You had the day off from work or you work from home and you're going out for a few cocktails this evening, going to hit the roads. The roads will be fine. I'm worried about the sidewalk outside your house. I don't want to slip and fall after.
That was actually going to be my next question.
Yeah.
I know you had mentioned yesterday that this wasn't necessarily
my concern,
shovel snow. It was more of a broom brush off snow.
Yeah.
But if you don't get to it right away, is there a risk of it freezing?
There's a guarantee it'll freeze. Yeah, it's 28 degrees outside.
Yes.
So you want to be careful. And let me tell you what doesn't mix, Chris, okay? A martini and a slippery sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay?
And if you make them the way Tucker likes them, one will do you.
Let me just say this. In my case, you want to be careful. I don't even need snow to have slippery conditions out there after one of my martinis.
That's what I was implying.
Yeah. So you got to be careful of that. Okay, let's go to the radar quickly. You'd rather probably see that than us. But it's really tapering off. So it's this is the last of it for at least this event. I want to say again, early delivery of Mother Nature bringing us snow. Many, many, many years we go after Christmas before we get our first inch of snow in Washington. Some years we even struggle to get an inch. So maybe this is a sign of things to come over the next couple of weeks. Not saying I have any guaranteed snow events in the next 7 days, but it's all winding down. Little area of low pressure to our south, and again, a chilly afternoon, but a festive afternoon, 34 degrees. It will remain cloudy and generally very cold out for this time of year. And then we will reset tomorrow morning. Look out for black ice. roads, sidewalks, that kind of thing. Even an inch of snow can cause very slippery conditions, and then we will warm it up into the 40s tomorrow. So we'll probably melt off much of what we've got by tomorrow.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm looking at Sunday, I'm looking at Wednesday, and I'm looking at Thursday.
So
and
overall,
I see
yeah, let me just say quickly,
and mixes.
A wintry pattern, but none of that features anything even comparing to today. That stuff's real light, just a passing flurry both days. But I will say this, the pattern looks active and generally wintry for the next couple weeks, so maybe we'll get more chances.
Okay, well that leads me right into my next question, which is we have worked together for more than a decade, and I know a lot of times there are accusations that I don't listen. However, I think you have talked about in the past that sometimes when we get one snow, it feels like we get another one.
So we'll kind of get into a little
meteorology
101 here. And so the atmosphere kind of has muscle memory. And what we look for is in the early parts of the winter season, it will kind of show its cards early. And so what it'll want to do is kind of repeat the same ideas over and over again. It doesn't mean that every day for the next 3 months we're going to have wintertime conditions. We'll probably ebb and flow some. But some years we have snowy years. Some years we have almost nothing here. If we get an early snow like here in early December, that oftentimes will signal maybe more winter conditions ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, we have Tucker Barnes and the Fox 5 weather team, who you can not only stay up to date with when they do hits here for us, but anytime, thanks to Weather on the Go on the Fox Local app. We need a winter version.
Can I give
of
a
this.
shout out real quick?
I love those colorful trees for fall, and I know technically, it's still fall.
I know people,
but we need a snowy
you're
version
right,
of this graphic.
Hey, Chris, let me give a shout out because this is tied into all this Fox Local. To all of our viewers that have sent me pictures today, sent me snow totals, sent me scenes of winter and kids and pets and your favorite whoever out playing in the yard. Just really appreciate it. That's what makes it so much fun because it's like we're one big community. That's what I love about the snow is everybody, at least the first couple snow days, everybody seems like they're having a good time.
I'd love that as well. And we're going to share some of those pictures coming up here a little bit later. Tucker Barnes, thank you so much for joining us. Tucker's done for the day, I think, but we'll also get another update from his better half coming up in our next hour. In the meantime, we are going to take a quick break. It's 12:20 on this Friday afternoon. Much more Live Zone on the other side. We'll be right back. back to the live zone on this Friday afternoon, taking a live look at the White House, a snowy White House at 12:25 in the afternoon. The president not there currently. He is at the Kennedy Center. That is where the World Cup Draw is happening now. You can catch complete coverage of that happening now over on Fox 5. But in the meantime, we did just want to take a live look at some of the snow coming down. In the meantime, I'm also going to show you some pictures from some of our viewers, if I can pull those up. Stand by. Yep, there we go. That's one from Phil DiMaggio, the perfect snow. Nice to look at, but doesn't cause a lot of problems for most folks. This is Brooms Island, Maryland. Not sure if you've ever been there. I'm not super familiar with it. I'm going to try to change some of these if you'll bear with me here in the meantime. It's going to take me just a second, but if you want to share your pictures and you're tuning in right now, you can scan that QR code you see on the screen, and that will take you to where you can submit your own pictures that we are going to share. We're also standing by for producer Joey. Producer Joey has made his way outside. He's checking conditions here in Bethesda, Maryland, where the snow has been falling as well. No sign of them yet, though. We're going to keep an eye out. But in the meantime, I'm going to cycle through some of these pictures that we have gotten from viewers any moment now. Stand by. Here they come. All right. Thank you for your patience as you watch the Live Zone Primetime. So we're starting with Phil DiMaggio. Let's see what else we've got. All right. There we go. From Mia in Castleton. Ellie loves the snow. Just look at her face. We love pictures of people's pets in the snow. That is always one of our favorites as well. Homer in Gaithersburg, taking a look at the parking lot, it appears, and some snow on the bushes and cars there. Let's see what else we've got. Arika Parker in St. Leonard. This is Calvert County. Some fun in the first snow. It looks like her fur baby there, bundled up in her pajamas as well. We love to see that. Let's see what else we've got. All right, next up, we've got Brad and Mary Ellen in Washington. This is Kingsley's first snow. Kingsley seems to enjoy it. Also got, Kingsley has their coat on as well, which is great. We need to keep the pets warm. Mary Knowles, this is Clark County, Virginia, Berryville. That is a throwback looking cabin covered in the snow. That looks like something straight out of like an Andrew Wyeth painting or something on the frontier. I love it. Next up, we've got K. Marie Cradle. This is Laurel Park Training, and that appears to be a horse in a winter hat. That's something we haven't seen yet, so that's new. We got a lot of them today, folks, so I'm going to keep cycling through them. Let's see what else we've got. A snowy morning at H2F Boar Goat in Gold Vein, Virginia. This is from Michelle Harden. All right, see, we've gotten dogs, we have horses, now we have goats. Alice Levon Hawkins, we're off to school. Uncle Tucker in the snow. This is from Prince Frederick. Looks like they didn't get the day off on this Friday, but they did get to have some fun out in the snow. We love to see that as well. All right, next up, Sylvia in Rockville. The flamingos in the snow should have gone south. Yeah, not the best time of year for flamingos. They need to keep warm. Let's see what else we've got. We also asked people to share pictures of their holiday decorations. I'm going to see if we have any ones of the holiday decorations and the snow. This is from Inside, from Curtis, who says, love the Christmas season. Let's see what else we've got. Tammy Allen saying, happy holidays, Fox 5. I'm looking for some that might have snow and Christmas decorations at the same time. We got a lot of them. That's the thing. So I have to kind of cycle through and see what we've got. In the meantime, I'm still looking for producer Joey. This is the Kentland's Christmas Light Show. Pixel Lights dancing the music, Santa visits. That has been running for 14 years. All right, let's see what else we have. 'Tis the season. Who's this one from? All right, we've got Amanda. Oh, looks like her bathroom in Fort Washington is all lit up. You love that as well. St. Mary's County is where we're heading next. This is from Joy. These beautiful pics in Lusby, as a matter of fact. All right, let's see. We need some more. Need some more snow. Here we go. More snow. Elsa Herrera. Enjoy watching, you guys. That's from Waldorf. I think she was probably watching Tucker this morning. Next up, we've got Matt. It's snowing out here in Leesburg. Will golf courses be open or closed? I work at Belmont. Unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that. I wish Tucker was here to help me out. All right, we're going to go through a few more of these. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to look for producer Joey, see what he's up to. Thank you, everyone who shared them. Keep them coming. You can just scan the QR code at the top of the screen where it says Scan Me. 12:30. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. day, I have taken over controls in the hot seat, and the reason why is because producer Joey has made his way outside somewhere. I thought he was just going out on our sky deck, but apparently he went for a little walk. Joey, where the heck are you?
All right, I am with producer Lauren in a park across the street from our station. It's absolutely beautiful out here, and on the way down, we got the Jaden Daniels news that he's starting on Sunday. Can this day get any better? And I'm out here to do snow angels, but I want to show you this. Come here, over here.
Joey, don't get too far. Don't get too far, Joey. We'll lose you.
It looks like... Sorry?
I said, don't get too far. We'll lose you.
Oh, it looks like some kind of ancient ruin, but this art piece in the park has been so beautifully draped with snow, and it's so fluffy, it melts absolutely right at the touch. And I would taste it, but that'll be off camera.
Don't eat yellow snow.
I won't, Chris. Shh, don't tell Chris. I'm going to do it. No. All right. But you know why I'm out here. It's to do snow angels. So follow me over here, Lauren. An important thing about snow angels is picking the right spot where it's deep, but you won't sink. You want there to not be a lot of footprints, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make or break it. All right. Bon voyage, Chris.
Looking good, Joey. Looking good. All right. That's got to be probably, it's not bad. I mean, if I had to rank it on a scale of 1 to 10 for the conditions, that's a solid 9 out of 10, Joey.
Yeah, let's go. All right. Excellent. Worth it.
All right. Is the snow still coming down out there?
It's still coming down. Not too much. We're under some trees right now, so you can't really tell how much is just being shaken off and how much is actually organically coming from the sky.
Fair enough. But it's cold out, I'm imagining.
It's really cold. I'm really cold. I'll be fine. It's still going, though. The snow's still going.
Snow's still going. So is our coverage. The beauty of this is that means Joey's got to come inside next, soaking wet. The beauty of this as well, though, and I don't know if Saida Abbas can hear me right now. If Saida can hear me, we're bringing you into this conversation. We now have team coverage of the snow happening right now. Joey, you're still hot as well, but Saida, thank you so much for joining us. Saida, where are you right now?
Hey guys, hi Joey, hey Chris. Good day to be indoors. We are here in Montgomery County. I am at the shops of the Burnt Bills, and we're talking to a lot of folks who are trying to make sure they have what they need to grocery store inside their homes, because you got to eat. If you don't want to leave the house over and over again when it's cold like this now here, the snow hasn't really been sticking on the ground. But I got to tell you this, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. A lot of folks that we are talking to, some of them are happy about this, believe it or not. This is beautiful for them to look at, to watch. Now, Joey showed you some snow. I'm going to show you these beautiful leaves here. Happy holidays to everybody watching. But for other folks, it's been difficult with the commute. Now, we did see a bit of traffic here when we came in, but it's kind of cleared the way at this point. There's a lot of school delays, a lot of late openings as well in Montgomery County. We are going to do a report later on from the border of Prince George's County and Montgomery County. So on one side, there's school delays. On the other side, not much going on. There's, comparing going on there. But again, in Rockville, we saw a lot of traffic situations that were bothering a lot of drivers this morning. We're going to have that coming up in our 4 o'clock show, a live report for you guys. So far, though, people are not too upset about the snow here. But I do want to show you guys just the parking lot situation in here. Lots of shoppers trying to get what they need. Lots of cars in this parking lot. And over here, I want to give a shout out to my photo journalist, Anon, for doing such a great job. This live shot as I keep moving around here. You can see the snow is on the ground, on the sidewalk here, and the traffic here is moving smoothly. I do want to let viewers know who are watching us at home, please, please, please be careful, because me and Sanon were driving. The roads are slick today. Go slow, go as slow as you can, and make sure you bundle up. Now, Chris, this is kind of funny, but we did see someone wearing really short shorts, no coat, no gloves, going to Trader Joe's today. Don't be that guy. Put on that hat. I just got my Fox 5 jacket today. Shout out to Kyle. Thank you.
Saida.
Official, but you got to be ready because it's not warm out today. It's super cold, and we're going to have all this wind coming up at 4:30.
So, Saida, just because I know this personally, so I know you're from the Philly suburbs, so I know snow is not new to you, but your where you worked before you came and joined the Fox 5 family, it was a little warmer, right? So you didn't get to do a ton of snow coverage, right?
That's not true. Well, we are from the same hood, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Darby, Delco, so I'm used to the snow. I was a anchor in New York City at News 12 before this, so I covered the snow there. And then in Arizona, I was an anchor, so I did not have to cover the snow there. So this is a bit of a shock to my system. I'm still getting used to all the East Coast weather. But yeah, I mean, this is great. Like for me, this is nothing. This is what, bikini weather? Not bad at all. So I'm enjoying it at this point.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to your report coming up a little later this afternoon. In the meantime, we want to bring in some more help. We're going to go to the MoCo show. Alex Saronis is joining us now live, as is producer Joey. But I feel like maybe I should call you MoCo Snow, because I learned a little story about you, Alex, and I'll let you tell it. But then I have Joey here, too, because he plays a little part in this, too.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. I have my retired shirt on because I was a teacher for 17 years. And when I retired, my coworkers made me this. And 5 pencils means there was like a guarantee that there would be no school. It was my prediction system. It kind of got everything started. The MoCo show exists because of MoCo Snow. And I got the prediction wrong for today. I thought there would be a delay with the reassessment for Montgomery County. I think most of the county probably agrees that that's what should have happened, but it didn't. So that's where we're at now.
Yeah, and Joey, going back to the MoCo Snow account and his 5 pencils, I want you to share your connection to this as well.
I was one of those kids, Alex, that would stay up late, wake up early in the morning, and look at your pencils. And I remember when it was 2 pencils, it was prayer time. It was lock in, and you just got to really hope that Alex somewhere bumps it up to 3. 4, it was like, I'm not going to do homework. 5, I'm not even waking up. I'm not alive for the entire day. Xbox is on. I'm not doing anything. But we didn't overlap at North Bethesda Middle School. I know you taught there as a gym teacher after I graduated. But on behalf of all the kids like me who are enjoying the whimsy right now, thank you so much for everything you did with MoCo Snow. But I do have a question for you.
Yeah, that's an awesome story, by the way. But yeah, let's hear it.
This MCPS decision today, if I was a student right now, I would be bashing down your door. What is the rationale? I'm thinking maybe it was because there was a call they made earlier in the week that maybe wasn't reflective of the actual weather. Is this making up for that?
So, all right. So I'm a PE teacher by trade, right? And I did that for many years. And I look at it like I'm gonna liken it to a referee making a bad call earlier in the game. So sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously, it's kind of like a makeup call. And I think that's what happened, in my opinion. I don't think they were like, hey, we know it's going to be bad, but we're still going to have school. But I think it was one of those situations where they were like, let's hope it won't be so bad. Let's try to get a full day of school in. And then when it came time for the decision, it had just barely started snowing. So they didn't know it was going to be, as bad as it is. And it wasn't horrible this morning, but it was bad. It wasn't good. So I think they made the wrong decision. I do think it was one of those situations where, like, the referee does the makeup call. Most parents and staff members and students are not happy. In fact, students think that, like, I make the decision. So I'm getting messages and comments being like, why didn't you close schools? I'm like, I just predicted, and I was wrong again. So, and I'm pretty cautious usually. So normally I would have went with 2 pencils because, a chance of a delay, but I was pretty certain that this would be at least like, hey, let's delay, see what we have. And it ended up being, a little later than anticipated. And it led to a situation where everyone's in school now. There was like dozens of crashes this morning in Montgomery County. So kind of a bad situation. Thankfully, no injuries as far as I've heard. So, it kind of worked out.
Yeah. Well, 2 pencils would have been prayer time. But, you know, it seemed like it was more confident than that. But
yeah, I was certainly confident. I gave it 3. I thought this was going to be a slam dunk delay, and then let's see how it looks. Maybe they'll even close, but I was wrong, and I'm rarely wrong. But new regime here in MCPS, so I got to get used to their decision making.
Well, I'm going to jump in. Chris is back. I'm going to jump in and just remind Joey that this is not a snow day. This is still a work day. So you got to make your way back here because I am sitting in your seat right now. In the meantime, Alex, while we've got you though, what else are you working on currently?
Tonight, in just a few hours, I'm going to be at the Square in Rockville hosting a tree lighting event. It's going to be a good time. I think last year over 1,000 people showed up, so I'll be doing that. Tomorrow, I'll be over at Rio in Gaithersburg. We're doing Light Up the Lakefront. There's going to be fireworks, so we got a packed weekend. It's going to be cold out there. I'll be bundled up, but a lot going on this weekend.
All right, we love to hear it. Alex Saronis from Moco Show, Moco Snow. Producer Joey out in the snow in Bethesda. Thank you guys both so much for joining us here on the Live Zone. Joey, make your way back. We've still got an hour and 14 minutes to go. Full speed ahead. Thank you so much, guys. All right, we're going to take another quick break. As we do, though, we're going to leave you with a live picture for President Trump at the Kennedy Center as the World Cup draw continues. We'll listen in here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Back. We are still taking this live look. If you are just joining us on Fox Local, we are taking this live look from the Kennedy Center where the president is on stage for the World Cup draw. We're going to listen in for just a little bit.
Bueno, estamos orgullosos, orgullosas de recibir por tercera vez la Copa Mundial. México es un país extraordinario, bello, mágico, y millones visitarán nuestra nación. Además, quiero decirles que tenemos un pueblo extraordinario, trabajador y algo especial. Nosotros disfrutamos del juego de pelota desde tiempos ancestrales.
Fenomenal. Gracias. Mr. President, President Trump, next summer is historic for the United States in more than one way. What does it mean to you that the FIFA World Cup is actually taking place in the United States 250th birthday? Special.
Well, for years, Johnny, they've thought soccer or football would be so big, so fast, and I remember, I shouldn't say this because it was a long time ago, but I remember watching Pelé play on a team called the Cosmos. Pelé, who was fantastic, as you know, I assume one of the greats.
Oh, yes.
And,
Pelé. Let's applaud Pelé, please. One of the greatest.
And he scored 3 goals that day. I said, that man can play. I was pretty young at that point, and who knew this was going to happen? But when you look at what has happened to football in the United States, again, soccer in the United States, we seem to never call it that because we have a little bit of a conflict with another thing that's called football. But when you think about it, shouldn't it really be called? I mean, this is football. There's no question about it. We have to come up with another name for this.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. It is really football. But who would have thought it would have come to a level where you've set your all-time season ticket ratings? Nobody's ever sold as many tickets, and you're still a long way from that ball being kicked down the field. So I just want to congratulate you. What an incredible leap this has been, and congratulations to FIFA.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Big round of applause, and the best is still to come, of course. So let's start with the draw. I will just show you how it works. I've done a few of them. Don't be scared, right? So you have to basically mingle the balls a little bit. You can see, I show this for the public, you see. Mingle. And then, one by one, we start with Mr. Carney. You pick one. Wait. You open it. You see there is a little paper inside. You take out the paper, these 2 things, you can throw them in here. And then you can show to the public what you have drawn, which for me is FIFA, of course. I'm just the moderator. Mr. Carney, do you want to start?
I'm ready.
Don't forget, and pick the right ball, please. Aha, already chosen. Okay, let's see which team will be drawn by Mr. Mark Carney. Oh, Canada! Oh, congratulations. Canada, ladies and gentlemen, the first team drawn in this World Cup Group B1 for Canada, by the way. We can continue. Por favor, podemos seguir, Presidenta. Vamos a ver el sorteo más importante del mundo y vamos a ver cuál es el equipo.
¡Viva
México! ¡México! ¡Felicidades! México, Grupo A1, Presidenta. Grupo A1 por México. Muchas felicidades. President Trump, up to you. Don't forget to mingle, to mix.
I think I know what this is going to be now.
Everything.
But let's see.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is the ball? You can still change it if you want.
Does he know something that I don't know? Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. I agree. Okay.
This is shocking.
United States of America. Excellent. Group D1. Can I ask all the 3 of you to lift like this on your chest, in front of your chest like this? Yeah, the name of the country. We'll give a nice photo. Excellent. And if I can ask you to come in front here for another photo with the paper, con el papelito, por favor. There, here where you can see the, voila, here, for another photo so that everyone can see what you have drawn. Here we are. Thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations. Great assistance. If I may take a selfie with the 3 of you. Come. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Now, in just 6 months' time, millions of fans from every corner of the planet will bring a world of noise to
All right, you have been watching from inside the Kennedy Center, President Trump on stage at the World Cup Draw, drawing USA alongside his counterparts from Canada and Mexico. Obviously, this is a North American hosted event. We'll have much more on that World Cup Draw coming up in the meantime. Of course, it is a Fox 5 snow day. We have been talking about it all day. If you are at home, if you have kids at home, if you are looking for something to do, if you are looking to beat the cold this weekend, there are some options when it comes to new streaming shows and movies. So that's what I usually do here with Guy Lambert on Friday, so we're going to keep that tradition going. We're going to start off moving from one form of football to the one that most Americans are a little more familiar with. Because first up, we are talking about the new season of Hard Knocks. This one focused on the NFC East. So Commanders fans, we are front and center. You see Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels there, along with CeeDee Lamb. That's not CeeDee Lamb, is it? Is it? Okay, Dak. We've got Dak at least. All right. Also, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. You see Jackson Dart as well. So that is streaming now on HBO Max. That's one option for all the football fans out there, because you know this season a lot of drama off the field, especially involving Jaden Daniels and all those injuries. Not the season a lot of fans have hope for. If you're looking for another docuseries, though, Netflix has the new one. It's called Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Why is this one interesting? Not only is it all about Puff Daddy's downfall, take a look at the top of the screen there. From executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and you know that 50 Cent doesn't play. The man knows how to be petty, and there are a lot of bombshells coming out of this new docuseries. All right, next up, we've got some new movies as well, and we're going to start off with one that is getting a little bit of Oscar buzz. You may have heard of it. It's called Jay Kelly. This is on Netflix. Stars George Clooney as a charismatic, mega famous movie star. What are the odds? It's like it's the role he was born to play. Adam Sandler co-stars as his devoted manager, Ron. This is a movie by Noah Baumbach, who you may know did movies like Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. Like I said, this one getting a lot of buzz. You can check it out on Netflix as of today. Another one of those Adam Sandler dramas, and you know he does some of his best work when he is in dramas. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out. If you're more in the mood for Christmas movies, we've got two new options for you, starting off with the Prime Video star-studded festive adventure called Oh, What Fun. Come for the presents, stay for the baggage. We are talking about emotional and family baggage. This one stars Michelle Pfeiffer, Dennis Leary, Felicity Jones, Chloe Grace Moretz, Jason Schwartzman, Danielle Brooks, Maud Apatow, and Ava Longoria. And it might strike a chord with all the moms and dads out there who feel a little extra family stress around the holidays as they play Santa's helpers. Like I said, that one on Prime Video now. Netflix has the holiday rom-com. It's called My Secret Santa. This one stars Alexandra Breckenridge and Ryan Eggold. It centers around a single mom who disguises herself as an elderly man to get hired as a Santa at a ski resort. Hijinks ensue. That's my favorite two words to describe most of the Netflix holiday movies. If you're looking for some new shows, we have a couple options as well. Netflix has one called The Abandons. The Abandons stars X-Files alum Gillian Anderson and Game of Thrones alum Lena Headey, playing ruthless rival matriarchs in the Old West and the land-based power struggle dividing them. So that one is from the same creator as Sons of Anarchy, if that's your thing. Then over on Starz, for the Swords and Sandals fans, we have Spartacus House of Asher. This is kind of like a new chapter in that anthology series. This one focuses on the character's rise from a slave to master. And last, but certainly not least, you know the one that I have been waiting for weeks to watch. We are talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Season 3 reunion. That one's on Hulu. This time around, former Vanderpump Rules star and personality Stasi Schroeder is serving as MC, taking the reins from Nick Viall, who, I will say, if you watch the Season 2 reunion back in July, Nick did a phenomenal job holding those women accountable, their feet to the fire, calling out, asking the questions fans wanted to know the answers to. We'll have to see whether Stasi does the same for this Season 3 reunion. I'm planning on watching it this weekend. The one spoiler I saw is that Dakota storms out and Brett opens up. But if you watch the show, you know I'm obsessed with it. You also know that the drama didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling, because Demi and Jesse have been going at it on social media for weeks. It involves Fruity Pebbles, but we're not talking about the cereal. That's all I'll say. Thank you. Those are our options for what to watch. It's now 1 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little politics on the other side of the break. You're watching the Fox 5 Live Zone on this Fox 5 snow day. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Fox 5 Live Zone on this snowy Friday afternoon, coming up on 1:05. And we want to talk a little politics now. And we're going to do that with Christina Antello. She is the CEO of FOX Strategies. She joins us now live. Christina, thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
All right. So we've been talking snow all day, but there's another S word that we've been using all day today, too, and that is soccer, because President Trump right now at the Kennedy Center for the World Cup Draw, the president playing a major role in making this happen. And I talked about this a little earlier. This isn't the only major event that he has at the Kennedy Center this weekend either, because next up he's got the Kennedy Center Honors, and he's taking a starring role there too. He'll be on stage. He's serving as host for that. So I just wanted to start by talking about the Commander-in-Chief and really the show that he likes to put on. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
I mean, absolutely. This is what this president loves to do. He loves the theatrics of the office, and he's really done it like nobody else has before. You know, he loves sports. He seems to be the only president who's turned up for as many like football games and other athletic events as possible. I really do think he loves kind of like the showmanship part of it, and obviously he loves the attention.
And, you know, on top of the World Cup, which is huge and will be here next year, we also have the Olympics in Los Angeles on the way, too. Do you think he's kind of factoring in these major events, putting America on the world stage as part of his legacy?
I do. You know, I think it's interesting, right? Because there have been some hiccups along the way. For example, these are events that people from the world like to attend, and yet our immigration system, our visa systems are kind of backing up a little bit. So it's making it harder and harder for folks to come. You've seen Secretary Rubio come up and say, like, they're going to find out some ways to expedite processing if you're only in town for the games. Either soccer or the Olympics. And, you know, so kind of like finding the way, the balance of this policy along with kind of like the theatrics of the sports that he's wanting to put on are proving interesting for the administration, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very interesting intersection of sports and politics, two areas that a lot of times we've heard to separate and keep politics out of sports. So we'll kind of wait and see how this all plays out. Meanwhile, the White House quietly released President Trump's new national security strategy late last night. The 33-page document elevates his America First doctrine, sets out the administration's realignment of U.S. foreign policy from shifting military resources in the Western Hemisphere to taking an unprecedentedly confrontational posture towards Europe. Christina, what do you make of this approach?
I mean, what's interesting is that you actually see this from a lot of presidents, right? They come in, they take office, they have all of these ideas and thoughts, and they're usually elected on domestic policy issues because voters tend to vote on domestic policy issues. And yet when they get into the office of the presidency, they find out, oh, wait, I have to rely on Congress. And Congress is either broken or moves too slowly for presidents. So you see them tend to focus more on foreign policy issues. And certainly this president being able to exert a lot of power in that way, especially not necessarily feeling like he's being restricted by the traditional norms that other presidents have felt, whether it be with tariff policies. And now what you're seeing kind of in the Caribbean and in Venezuela, and kind of really just wanting to make the choices himself and be able to go forward and kind of, you know, don't ask for permission, but ask for forgiveness if there's any issues afterwards. And so, you know, this is really the place where he's gone ahead. He's wanted, and he said very clearly, he wants a peace prize. And so he is trying to really kind of do that either in Gaza or Ukraine, kind of regardless of whatever the details of the deal are. He just wants to see if he can establish a peace deal to be able to move that forward.
Yeah, we heard him call himself the president of peace and also get awarded that inaugural FIFA Peace Prize that they talked about while he was on the red carpet a little earlier. All right, moving on. The accused pipe bomber, Brian Cole, in court today. We talked to Bob Barnard about that a little bit earlier today. According to sources, he told FBI investigators he believed the 2020 election was stolen. I wanted to kind of get your take on this. If that's the case, was it the president's own rhetoric that led to this? And what do you make of that?
I mean, certainly there are a lot of folks who think that the president's rhetoric and a lot of the folks around him on that, you know, on the days leading up to and the day itself really did inspire a lot of folks. He's obviously distanced himself from that, but, you know, I would tend to think, and I think that you've seen a lot of legal cases as an attorney have made that case. And a lot of folks are saying, like, I was called to action by the president, who I believed is the president, who I thought was rightly elected. He told me he was rightly elected and that there had been interference. And a lot of folks felt that it was their duty, you know, because of that kind of commentary, to then go stand up for what they thought were misdirected election results. I think that we know subsequently that wasn't the case and that this was a lot of hyperbole. But certainly, you know, it is an interesting defense to put out there.
So if that ends up being the case, and that was truly why this suspect was motivated to act, do you think that the administration, because like I said to Bob Barnard earlier this afternoon, we saw FBI Director Kash Patel and we saw Attorney General Pam Bondi yesterday kind of taking a quote-unquote victory lap over how hard they worked to break this case, pointing fingers at the previous administration for inaction. Did they speak a little too soon?
I mean, we've certainly seen them do that a couple of times now. So perhaps, I mean, it is actually, I mean, in terms of law enforcement, this is a pretty big, amazing deal to do, to be able to go 5 years later and find this through evidence you already had. There wasn't new evidence that was brought to case. And they were able to sift through kind of what they already had and find and kind of find the cold trail. and do that. So in law enforcement terms, it is a big deal for them to do that. But if in fact this person is going to say, but I did it because the president told me to, and what we've seen the president do is then pardon folks that say that kind of stuff, it would be really interesting to see this president pardon somebody that his administration fought so hard to get, caught, basically.
Yeah, that will be an interesting wrinkle. And Bob Barnard will have much more on what happens in court today coming up for us a little later. In the meantime, lawmakers on Capitol Hill taking a closer look at those military strikes on drug boats in the Caribbean this week. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth has faced backlash over the operation, but he says the decision was Navy Admiral Frank Bradley's. The Navy Admiral also denied a reported claim that Pete Hegseth told them to, quote, kill them all. What, if any, fallout do you expect from this?
Yeah, it's interesting what you've seen kind of this delicate balance that both the president did and now Secretary of War Hegseth to say, I don't really know what happened and it wasn't me, but I totally support the guy who did it. And so in being able to follow out the orders as kind of broadly defined by the White House, the commander in chief, and then obviously the secretary. So what I think that you'll see is they'll both distance themselves, continue and be like, it wasn't me. I didn't make the order. I didn't make the call myself. Hey, but generally speaking, we do support what he did there. And you do see that the administration, the Department of War, trying very hard to make the legal case for why the second order was justified and would be allowed and not necessarily be considered a crime of war. So I think they'll succeed. They have succeeded many times, but they're going to have to twist themselves around the axle a little bit in trying to make that case and find the justification for that second order.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Capitol Hill, House Speaker Mike Johnson facing some attacks from his own party, and so far has had little backup from his most important ally, which is the President of the United States. So what is going on inside the House GOP right now?
I mean, that poor man, he took on this job. I don't know if anybody else wanted it, and he stood up to do it. He's had a lot more success in the last year than I think a lot of people anticipated. He's probably the only guy who can keep that caucus going. But yeah, there's the House is finding itself at this moment where now we're going to approach election season, which makes it really silly season for these members of Congress. They're figuring out that the president's coattails aren't going to extend to them during a midterm, that some of them have to track their own path, and that maybe the president's policies that aren't as popular won't do very well in moderate districts. And so a lot of these folks in kind of the middle are needing to chart their own course, especially some of these members who are running for other offices, like governors and things like that. So you're going to see in a House that has a 2 to 3, maybe sometimes 4 vote margin, that 5 or 6 or 7 might find other reasons to go a different way, and that's going to make it really, really hard for him to move forward. And as for the president, as I mentioned earlier, he's focused on things that are outside of the country now, right? And a lot of foreign policy. And really because he understands, and I think he knows that Congress is kind of broken, he's not really that interested in it, I don't think.
All right. Well, Christina Antello, CEO for FAROX Strategies, thank you so much for weighing in and spending some time with us here on the Fox 5 Live Zone.
Thanks for having me. Stay warm.
Have a great day. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, producer Joey we're going to have some fun with producer Joey. Let's just put it that way. We'll be right back.
we can't stay long. We should call ourselves Lightning and...
Wait a minute, guys. Guys, I'm sorry. Producer Joey here. I played the wrong clip of Neil Diamond in this new movie. Let me just pull it up. Rookie mistake. Here we go.
Once there was a
Wait a minute. Guys, I'm sorry. That's not it either. Hold on. Here we go. Well, you know what? We'll get him next time. As you can see, this is not quite Hugh Jackman. I got you something better. Joey Moroff joins us right here on the Live Zone. Joey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I ruptured my Achilles, so I'm doing the best I can.
Well,
but
wait, that's not great. What happened?
Yeah, I was doing a dance audition in October and just put too much weight on my left Achilles and pop 6 fish exploded. It was not fun, but...
Does that sideline you for a bit?
Say that again?
Are you like sidelined for a bit? You can't dance for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm out for 6 months to a year, which is so exciting.
Oh my
but
God.
Yeah.
Well, I think that gives you plenty of time to reflect on the absolutely insane year you've had. Almost 1 million followers on TikTok. You are one of, if not the most premier Hugh Jackman impersonator in the world right now, as well as an actor and singer based out of New York. And you are an impressions guy, if I'm not mistaken. You do other impressions?
Yeah, I do more. I do Eddie Redmayne, Amanda Seyfried, Josh Groban, RFK Jr. I'm working on Andy Cohen, Carolyn from The Traders, and Survivor.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm an impression guy, too. I've been known to do plankton around the office, so, you know.
Oh, I love it.
But if you don't give me that secret formula, Joey, I'm coming after you.
Wait, that's spot on.
That's
really good.
Can you do like a SpongeBob or a Krabs?
Hi, SpongeBob, or matey, or SpongeBob would be like, Patrick, oh, Squidward. And then I feel like Patrick would be like, SpongeBob, Crust, do you want to go to the Krusty Krab? We'll work on it, but
yeah, I mean, it's like Giancarlo Esposito. I met him at a convention. He told me that impressions are a good way to create original characters, to kind of put your voice in different places. Have you felt like, as an actor, your skills growing because of more impression work?
I feel it's made me more silly, and I've really identified that I want to go into comedic acting as well as, live performance and stand-up and sketch comedy. And I'm working on pushing myself to do more live comedy and shifting to, my whole life I had always been acting, like that is my bread and butter. And I went to school for it. I went to NYU Tisch and studied drama there. And I still feel like I can involve my acting with comedy. It's just different. And maybe I'll take a class at UCB or sketch writing class there, or improv. To really refine my skills, but I love making people laugh. I'm been a menace my whole life, so I feel like it's kind of crazy that this is all happening, and I get to do what I love for a living and torture poor Hugh Jackman online. Yeah.
Well, I want to know if there was a moment when you realized this had gone from being a viral video to a trend that people were doing on their own. Was there a moment like that for you?
Many moments. A lot of choirs that have taken my impressions and sung. Yes, a lot of they've taken Hugh and Hughified their songs. Just crazy because I used to do that with Miranda Sings when I was in choir in middle school, and I would force my choir to sing a song like Miranda Sings. So it's so full circle that now people are doing that with my impression. There are people that will do it on the streets. Oh my God, so many people.
You get stopped on the street?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yesterday I was in a park in New York, and multiple people in the span of like 30 minutes came up to me. It was really crazy. And a lot of people will sing happy birthday to their loved ones as Hugh, which always cracks me up. And doing it in class, doing the hallway. So there's just the universe really expands wide.
Universe. The universe. Is that your term, or did someone coin it for you in the base?
I did coin that term, but my audience always like DMs me like different song lyric suggestions or videos of them like huifying songs, and it's just really been so funny, like this world that I've kind of created. The universe.
Well, like, as an actor on the business side, right? We talked about like the skills side of impressions, but has anything changed for you? Being in New York, I have a picture of you here from a show from your website. What's that from?
I was doing Pippin at NYU. It was really cool. We did it in this black box theater. It was very like macabre, dark, and it was really fun production, and I really loved it. And I would say the biggest change for me has been some New York theater producers coming to me and meeting with me, wanting to do a solo show. It's looking like I'm gonna do a concert sometime in spring of my impressions, and I have a couple. I'm writing a play about my family. It's like a comedy. It's similar to O'Mary, I would say. It's just over the top, outrageous. Man. I love O'Mary. It was so funny. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's just this satirical play by Cola Skull. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm writing like two versions of a solo show, like one that's more production and one that's more like a concert version. So stay tuned for more information about that. But
about the thing about your family, I feel like when someone writes a piece like that, they've had it in their heads for a really long time, or have been writing bits and pieces. When did you get started on that, or have you not considered yourself officially started on that?
I saw O'Mary in April of this year, and I was like, if that craziness can be on a Broadway stage, that absurdity, I want to push myself to do something like that, because like my mind works like that. It's like tennis, like it's very quick, like that play is. And I don't want to spoil it to anyone watching, but there's just such funny scenes, and like I really I love making people laugh, and I feel like that would be such a fun thing for me to do. And it's not, direct retelling of my family story. It's definitely like inspired by my family. It's this Passover play where my family comes together, or characters based on my family come together because my grandfather has died, and they just should not be together. And I'll leave it at that. But
it reminds me of Falsettos just a little bit, and I hope it makes me feel like how Falsettos did.
Falsettos is beautiful, heartbreaking.
Yes.
God.
And one last thing, I want the viewers at home to be able to take something away from this, namely how to do this wide vibrato Hugh Jackman impression from Les Mis, where Russell Crowe pulls up and he's like, 24601, your time is up and your parole's begun. And then what do you do to get into this voice?
It's obviously exaggerated,
Yeah.
So I really like place it forward in my like nasal cavity, just really in your nose, in your mask, if you will.
Yes.
And so that's kind of the tone of it, and then the vibrato is slowed down. So you kind of just, if you're singing like a straight note, you would just like push your diaphragm and like do it like not. It's kind of like you got to do it like as practice. It's hard to like just like do it if you don't like know what.
Let me give you one.
Okay.
Rain man.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Try it at home. Send it to me.
You got the
#Fox5 Live Zone. Excellent.
I love it.
This has been Joey Moroff. Joey, thank you so much for coming on, and we cannot wait to see what you do next.
Thanks for having me. It was just so much fun.
Yes, of course. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Live Zone on this Friday, Fox 5 Snow Day Friday.
Yes.
Here in the nation's capital. We've had to replace Tucker Barnes, which you know I have no issue with, and we brought in his better half, Caitlin Roth.
Thank you.
Fresh off the street.
I am fresh off the streets. Yeah, I can report.
Give us a 1 p.m. update.
Exactly. Now, we all know Tucker Barnes gets very fatigued after a morning of doing snow coverage, as you've dubbed him before.
Vegetation.
The hardest working man in show business.
He likes to tell himself that.
So he had to go home and take a nap. Anyways, as we passed, on the metro and waved to each other, we high-fived. Like, okay, forecast went great.
Yeah,
This was a big success for the first snow of the season. This is also the earliest snowfall of the season that we've seen in 7 years. So you have to go back to 2018, the last time we had an inch of snow this early on in the winter. And it feels like people kind of knew what to do.
They got the message,
handled it.
yeah.
Okay, it was definitely a delay morning for many, but some schools didn't even bother.
Montgomery County, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
Snow has stopped, am I correct?
Snow has stopped, yeah.
Okay.
We are done, that's it. I do want to say, though, it's very cold. Temperatures are in the 20s. And because we have all this leftover moisture, like it snowed, and a lot of the times, it doesn't get super cold super quick after the fact, but this time it will. And so there's already a new winter weather advisory out for any sort of freezing drizzle through tonight. And that can be really, really light stuff that just accretes to unpaved surfaces or sidewalks. So it can still be really icy tonight is basically what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so a warning to anyone heading out to be careful. I know you had some of the snow accumulation totals up 2 inches. So like you said, the southernmost parts of the DMV.
Yeah, as expected.
Hit the hardest.
Exactly. And we kind of knew this would be, which was so funny and in stark contrast to what happened Monday night into Tuesday.
Right.
That was snow that only favored the higher elevations to the north and west. This time, temperatures weren't a problem. The snow just tracked further south. So Waldorf coming in at 2, Fredericksburg at 1.5, Gaithersburg at 1.5. These reports are only through, I think, about 9 or 10 a.m. So I expect some of these might go up a bit. Clarksburg 1 inch, Fairfax 1 inch, officially at Reagan National 1.1. 1 inches. But that is, again, just through 10 a.m. And we saw this snow band kind of sit over the metro through at least 11 a.m. So these might go up once we get some more totals that come in.
All right. Well, we will be looking for that update coming up on the DMV zone, Fox 5 News at 4, 5, and 6.
3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes.
We've got you covered is the moral of the story. Caitlin, thank you so much for
yeah.
hanging out. All right. I'm going to take your mic back. Don't forget that. All right. Awesome. In the meantime, we do want to, it's 1:30. We want to head back out to Bob Barnard outside of U.S. District Court. That's where the suspected pipe bomber, Brian Cole, had a hearing, his first hearing today. And Bob, you have some new details for us.
Yeah, Chris, it was called an initial appearance. He is going to be held until his next court date, which is 10 days from now on December 15th. And that is what they're calling a detention hearing. See if he should be held even longer. But for the next 10 days, he will remain in custody. The judge here, the federal judge, just basically read the charges, made sure he was, understanding of what he's being accused with. The prosecutor at one point mentioned that Brian Cole spoke to investigators yesterday for more than 4 hours. And Fox News is reporting that Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old from Woodbridge, Virginia, the person apparently seen in those videos from January 5th, 2021, placing what the authorities were calling viable pipe bombs outside the Republican National Committee headquarters up on Capitol Hill. And there he is there, his photograph, and also at the Democratic National Committee headquarters, pipe bombs that never went off, but they weren't discovered until the next day while President Trump was speaking at the ellipse right before the riot at the Capitol. So Brian apparently, according to Fox News, admitted to doing this and said that he was upset about the results of the 2020 election, that he apparently is a Trump supporter. I will tell you there were, and you'll see the videos here of him, that's supposedly Brian Cole almost 5 years ago wearing that gray hooded sweatshirt, carrying a backpack with materials that he apparently got at Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot to leave behind. Again, these IEDs, they call them in the criminal complaint, technically pipe bombs that never went off. But I will tell you, he had several members of his family in the courtroom, were here at the courthouse when he was walked in by the bailiffs. Several of them cried. There were, I counted, Chris, 7 members of his family were there. They audibly sobbed. And then when this hearing ended, it only lasted about 20 minutes or so, and Brian Cole Jr. stood up to be walked back out of the courtroom. Several of them yelled, "We love you, Brian. We're here for you, Brian." A woman who I believe is his mother, frankly, humbly recognized me. And when I asked, would she talk to us afterward, she said, just talk to his lawyer, who we did speak to before the hearing, who said he would not speak to us afterward. And he and the family walked away from the courthouse while we were there. The man who appeared to be Brian Cole's father said, talk to the mom. And she frankly asked for my business card, but said, you got to speak to our lawyer, who apparently is from a law firm in Atlanta. And when we spoke to him in the hallway before the hearing, Chris, he said, no, I'm not going to talk to you afterward. We're still building our team. So Brian Cole's family has hired outside lawyers. The one who was here today from a law firm in Atlanta, who says they are building a team. I will say several of us, other reporters, were talking before the hearing that if Brian Cole Jr. says what he did the night before January 6th was in support of Donald Trump, based on the pardons to all the people who were charged with attacking police and entering the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, the fact that they've all been pardoned, you got to wonder how long this case is going to go forward. Maybe it's different.
Outside of U.S. District Court, we'll have updates today on the DMV zone, Fox 5 News at 4, 5, and 6. Bob, thanks so much for giving us an update.
You bet, Chris.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the bombshell in the business world, Netflix taking over Warner Brothers, what that means for all of those streaming users out there, HBO Max and more. We'll talk about it. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. to the live zone. Some major news from the business world earlier today, and this one could impact anyone who likes to stream movies and TV shows at home or even head to the theater. Netflix announced it will buy Warner Brothers film and streaming assets in a $72 billion deal. That means Netflix will own HBO Max. The deal expected to close sometime next year. For more on this announcement, what it includes and what it could mean for subscribers, all those streamers out there, let's bring in entertainment, business, and legal affair attorney Lisa Bonner. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us. So, I mean, Paramount, Skydance, Comcast, all making plays for WB. Were you surprised to see Netflix enter, throw its hat into this ring, and make this deal?
I absolutely was. There was a time when all of us in the entertainment industry thought that the deal with Skydance Paramount was a foregone conclusion. And I don't think many of us really supported that deal for various reasons. And then they opened the aperture and started looking at and entertaining other companies. When they brought Comcast to the table, other companies came to the table. So I think when they started these talks, and then Netflix suddenly emerged. The conversations just got real a couple of days ago with Netflix, but these conversations have been going on so long. So from going from nowhere in the talks to closing a deal with a $5.8 billion penalty in the event that it falls apart, that went from 0 to 100, as the kids say, in a nanosecond. This was a very quick deal. I think we were all pretty much surprised and taken aback. But I'm pleasantly surprised on this one.
Okay, so I kind of want to dive a little deeper into that. What were some of your concerns originally with Paramount Skydance entering the ring for this too?
The biggest issue with that was a couple of things in terms of that it would create a big antitrust case in terms of really limiting the assets of the company, right? In terms of limiting what it would look like for Hollywood and the output, meaning that the deal with Skydance Paramount was pretty much all inclusive. The deal with Netflix spins off only the streaming and the film assets, which leaves CNN, TBS, TNT, those assets to be run separately and retained by Warner Brothers. And so that does not create as big of a conglomerate as once would have. So that was one thing that people were worried about. And also, a lot of people were concerned with the direction of where the Paramount Skydance network is going. This is it's looks like the one, Barry Weiss, who they've appointed head of news, is an ultra-conservative person, and that is really causing concern in terms of what the output would look like in terms of the news. Would we get something close to a state-run media with a hyper-conservative slant in the news? So this allows for a different type of merger where we can keep the assets that align with Netflix's bottom line, which is streaming and theatrical output, making them a content giant in that perspective, but also preserves the other assets for Warner Brothers to keep operating or do what they wish in that. So it's not a super ultra mega conglomerate that people were really concerned about.
Okay. So Netflix's own CEO admitted that he knew people would be surprised, even saying that his company is known for building instead of buying. So what was the advantage to them to make this deal?
Right. Netflix has traditionally always produce their own content, right? And they're a very new company in terms of streaming. So when Ted Sarandos was speaking to the investors on the call this morning, where he said, hey, we understand that you are concerned because we are known to be builders, not buyers. And that is what he meant. Netflix is always one who produces or acquires their own content, not buying content. So Warner Brothers has a deep catalog from Sex and the City, Big Bang Theory, Wizard of Oz, Harry Potter, Casablanca, those older titles that gives them a leg up in the content game, because that is what Netflix was missing, right? Because with Disney and Hulu, you have that deep catalog of Disney produced projects, which allows for more opportunities for people to stream better and larger content. Netflix had new content that they have relatively newly produced. And while they've acquired some third-party titles, these have just come more recently. So this really gives them a large platform, and it benefits the consumers too in terms of bundling. Netflix is saying, look, listen, we're trying to keep the prices the same. So in terms of people like me that have multiple subscriptions, including a separate HBO Max subscription, that hopefully will be folded in to the Netflix subscription, giving us a larger content portal to view this with in terms and a lower price point to do it with. So that's what he meant by that.
All right, I mean, this is going to be a little bit of a nerdy question because
I'm here for it.
Okay, good. So, Disney/Hulu, they have Marvel, which is obviously a huge comic book tentpole franchise. Warner Brothers did have DC Comics, the new Superman movie, James Gunn. Netflix picking that up, does that kind of give them their own superhero studio now too?
For sure. I mean, everybody knows, whether you are in the comic universe or not, everybody knows it's DC versus Marvel, right? And so this is something else that is so exciting to people because it does allow that, the rival to go on, if you will. So I love it. I'm here for it. And the most important thing that Ted Sarandos spoke about on the call was, listen, we're not trying to change the output right now. We're going to let Warner Brothers do what they do best. They're going to continue to produce third-party content and their own content. We're going to let them put out the theatrical movies the way that they had intended, although they're going to shrink that window a little bit. But this allows for the content to continue to be produced and put out like it was before. So people are going to be able to continue to that rival and go to be able to watch the DC comic book and Superman movies in the theaters and hoping for a quicker release on the platform. So that's also a win, I think, for consumers.
Okay, so that's interesting because you took my next question right out of my mouth, which was, do you see Netflix kind of, Jay Kelly, the one that's out today, it was out for 2 weeks, and they usually do that, to make it eligible for the Oscars. But do you think there will be any pushback from whether it's Hollywood insiders, whether it's actors, directors, et cetera, who really want to still, I mean, Tom Cruise with Paramount, obviously, but who want that theatrical experience?
For sure. And I think that was a big concern in the industry because as much as we have turned to streaming, people do still like the cinematic experience, right? And some things are just better on the big screen initially. For instance, movies that are produced for IMAX or Avatar, for example. So aside from wanting to do that for the theatrical window for the Oscars, I think they are really people are rightly concerned, and are Hollywood actors and producers also concerned about the shrinking of the theatrical experience. And the co-CEOs said today, listen, we are going to keep that. They're not trying to shake up the industry the way this Paramount Skydance deal would have. They are trying to assuage investors and consumers that nothing much is going to change, at least initially. I do think that they will continue to have the theatrical experience for the bigger titles, but I think for some of the smaller titles where they are looking to bring it faster to the streaming platform, we'll continue to see that. Because just remember, a couple of years ago, it was 6 months. Then it went to 3 months. Now it's
Weeks.
Right around the corner from the original release. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like a lot of movie theaters might take a little bit of a sigh of relief to that. Finally, with all of these mergers and conglomerates and things like that, for the consumer, I know you said that it may mean either prices could go down or stay the same, and it could mean that you have more options on these streaming things. But eventually, are we going to end up back with old school cable and the bundles, and you have to get this to be able to watch that, et cetera?
Well, you're still going to have the traditional over the air, the antennas. You still have Tubi, Fubo, and other, Samsung TV and things that you can get for the free experience. But like it or not, streaming is here to stay. And where people and the streamers have lost, have started to win is in terms of acquiring these conglomerates, right? Because we know that people want to binge watch. People are going out less. People are certainly going to the theater less. So they do have those concerns. But I think in terms of the consumers, streaming is here to stay. We do have free options in terms of the fast TV platforms that I just spoke about, but I think that not much is going to change, and I think that's why we're all breathing a bit of a sigh of relief here, that at least for the short term, things are going to continue to stay the way that they are. We're not really worried about so-called state-run media with the all-encompassing deal with CNN, which was a huge concern. So I think we can, well, at least I'm breathing a sigh of relief, and I hope that our conversation and this discussion, which I have appreciated, has given people an understanding of where they say they're going. Now, you can put your money where your mouth is, and we'll see. But that is at least what the co-CEOs are saying today. So we'll see.
Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us here today. Lisa Bonner, entertainment, business, and legal affair attorney. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, producer Joey's going to talk to us about Pantone's color of the year, which not really a color at all. We'll talk about it coming up next. Welcome back to Fox 5 Live Zone on this snow day, Friday. We have made it down to the final couple minutes of the show, and that means it's time for what Guy likes to call the Friday Talkers. And for those, we need to bring in producer Joey. And I know we're talking about a couple different colors today.
Yes, we
or
are.
Or lack thereof, depending on who you ask.
Well, we got to start with a lot of heat, even though it's the snow. You know who's taking a lot of heat? This Christmas tree farm in New Jersey for adding colors to their trees with spray paint. It offers trees in 9 different colors, including pink, multiple shades of blue, as you can see there, even black. And we could talk about black and white as colors later. But Wyckoff's Tree Farm says it uses a fireproof, latex-based paint, quote, specifically formulated for Christmas trees. How does that exist? You know, critics point out that there is is there a waiver? There is a waiver for customers to buy these trees. It says the company's not liable for any issues. That's a little bit shady. I would be a little bit weirded out if I had to buy a Christmas tree and sign a waiver before doing it. So what do you think?
Okay, so I actually really like some of those trees, but I like them all together. So like if a mall bought these and they had multiple ones all together, I really like kind of the effect of it. I also love those old school throwback, you know, pink trees that you used to see at stores like Miss Pixie's down on 14th Street, RIP. But in my own home, just a one color tree, you know, besides the traditional green, I don't know that I would love it as much. As far as them saying that like they're not liable for anything, I can imagine that they're worried about a pet biting it or like it staining your nice white carpet if the needles fall off. What's weird about this is that these are real live trees they painted, it appears, as opposed to just having an artificial tree that they spray painted. Because this looks like a Christmas tree farm from what I can tell.
It's like you can make trees out of plastic now.
That is true.
You know, it's
yes.
2025.
That lasts a lot longer than one season, if I'm not mistaken. Are you team real tree or team artificial?
I'm team real tree in principle.
Okay.
In principle. In practice, it's hard.
Yeah.
Isn't it hard? It's especially when you involve the challenge, the interior decorating challenge of like what color goes in this room.
Yeah.
If you know,
I had to move a chair to put up my Christmas tree this year. I've always been team, real tree.
Yeah.
And I have one of each currently because now that I no longer live in a one-bedroom apartment and have a basement where we actually watch TV and spend the most of our time, so we wanted to decorate down there too. But of course, from street level, you can see into the house, and that's where we have the real tree. We also have a cat, so that added a fun new challenge for a lot of fellow cat owners out there.
What is the cat tree dynamic if you pull up with a tree that's like sky blue, a cat that its entire life it knows what color trees are?
You would think.
I think it would freak out.
I think it would probably, like a lot of pet owners out there know that inevitably the animal's going to be drawn to that tree, and hijinks ensue. We've been lucky. Little Pepper baby has been so good, but she also is around plants all the time because my wife, we live in a jungle.
Yay. All right, this story is not as yay, or it is if you're a fan. As you can see, Pantone unveils the color of the year for 2026, which is white. I mean, they say it's Cloud Dancer. It's like supposed to be serene. It calms you down. Pantone, it says its team studies everything from politics to fashion, and then it lands on the perfect shade. This one has equal warm and cool undertones. It's supposed to symbolize new beginnings and a desire to reset heading into the year ahead. All right.
No, okay. When you put it that way, I can get a little more on board with it because I think everybody might be looking for a little bit of a fresh start. I will say that it appears we have a lot of cloud dance. I mean, the entire DMV is covered in Cloud Dancer right now because a fresh coat of white snow fell today. It's very serene. It is very calming. I think people do enjoy it instinctually. However, these people who are either going to dress in this or paint their houses in this must be much neater than me because inevitably, if I put on something that's all white, I will spill something on myself like that.
Yeah. I was not very happy with this being the color of the year, but then when I read the calming description and that there is kind of a method behind this madness, I'm down with it. However, 6-7 as word of the year still makes no sense.
Because it's a number.
Because it's not a word.
Is a number. Also, the other word of the year, depending on which dictionary you subscribe to, we had parasocial was one, and rage bait was another, and rage bait is 2 words. So I don't, call it the phrase of the year, call it the slang of the year, whatever you want to call it. And it also, to that effect, it always inevitably ends up like it is a slang word, Joey. Yeah. And I understand that these slang words, kind of burn bright and then die out type of a thing. But if anyone was looking back over the history of the word of the year, to make it something that, how often do we use the word Riz these days? You know what I mean? And I feel like that was one too.
Kind of dead. I think if historians went back and saw that we chose a number for word of the year, they wouldn't think too highly of us either.
I think they're just bracing us for our eventual AI overlords who are a bunch of numbers and 010101s out there.
They can read that.
Exactly.
They can read that.
Producer Joey, I think we've made it to the end of the show. Thank you so much for guiding me through this. Thank you for your live shot from outside. Thank you everyone who tuned in our extra special, extra long edition of the Fox 5 Live Zone on this Friday. The Take It 2 is coming up next. I'll be back at 7:30 for Do You Like It?
Wait a minute, I have one more tweet.
Lay
just
it on
for the next 1 minute. I found this take just to preview you for the Take It 2, if you can read that. A reminder that we're entering that season when people in D.C. are either mad the city hasn't closed or delayed schools, or mad that the city has closed or delayed schools because
Martin,
of
you
snow.
nailed it. Martin Ostermuhle,
I
a
think
man
that
who
sums up.
knows D.C. very, very well, and that is spot on. Updates to come on all the stories we've talked about here today over on the Take It To DMV Zone and beyond. Like I said, we'll be back at 7:30 for Do You Like It or Not, right here on Fox Local, and then 9 p.m. with Tony P live in Italy one last time for the Live Zone primetime. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Take It To 2 o'clock. We're feeling festive. We're getting ready for the big days. Yeah, it's December. We're getting along. The weather's been here and there, a little cold out there, but you know, we're going to get through it. I'm Marina Morocco. Let's get this show started, bring in our guests here, get everybody's takes on all the things that are impacting us here at home. Kevin Walling with us. What's going on, Kevin?
Been a minute. How we doing?
I know. How you been?
Good to see you.
You been out in South Carolina hanging in the warmth?
Just trying to stay warm, yeah.
Yeah,
How
well,
about it?
he's not like the rest of us mortals, that's for sure.
Hey, all right, Florida, come on.
Let's go to the balcony and check in with our crew. Okay, look at the sleek crew here. Kelsey, Nicole Nelson with us, of course, and Al Reynolds. Good to see her. She's got the soccer. She knows what's coming next
She's
year.
fired up for FIFA.
Yeah, 2026 World Cup, baby.
How about it?
A lot to talk about this December. Al, come on down. Come join us here on this crew with Kevin here.
We'll give you a little sandwich here.
I know.
Fine
I
sandwich
like
here.
the turtleneck look.
Hey, looking very
Look at his hair.
It's
oh, man.
killer.
It's like a whole like vibe, baby.
Those glasses.
Came ready.
It's Christmas
Very
time.
sharp.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it is. You excited for the New Year too, or just for the holidays?
I won't be here for the New Year's, but
okay.
I love this time of
Are
year.
you going to the Caribbean? Where are you going?
No, I'm going to Italy. My brother lives in Vicenza, and so I'm going to visit him finally. He's been out there for 3 years now. He's in the military. He's an educator in the system there.
Amazing.
So yeah,
That's
I'm excited to go. And we get to go to Croatia, and we're going to go see the Eye of the World. Have you ever been there?
I've been to Croatia, but never to the Eye of the
The
World.
Eye
What
of
is
the
that?
World. It's like this spring. It's supposed to be a healing spring that you can go swim in, you can snorkel in, and it looks like it goes to the middle of the world because there's no bottom to it.
Let's move
Someone's doing 2026 right, okay? I know, seriously. Let's go on location. I love to hear it. I mean, I could do another whole hour asking Al about his travel plans. But yeah, as you know, we'll delve more into that as the hour goes on. We'll get somebody out. We'll bring Kelsey down. And there's going to be sports questions left and right. So I don't know.
She's coming down quick then.
Yeah, she will be coming down. Don't worry.
I'm ready to tag in. Call us 202-895-3200. Give us a call. Let us know what you're talking about. And of course, as we head into the holiday season, a lot of what we're talking about is just that. And that's where we start today with that snowy start to the winter season. Snow blanketing the D.C. region already. The earliest measurable inch of snow since we've seen in 2018.
Wow.
We already had some issues with schools. Montgomery County apologizing for delaying school earlier this month and then deciding to keep schools open when there was actually snow on the ground. This is, of course, a live look at Prince George's County at National Harbor there, Oxon Hill. Interestingly, though, Montgomery County sent kids to school that day, and then you've got Prince George's County who said, no, we're going to close. So very different way of handling things.
Yeah, you'd think there would probably be some coordination, at least on the ground, in terms of it's the same kind of snow situation in both those counties. But you know, we'll see as the days move on and into January too.
Yeah,
because I think it's going to be a little bit longer of a season.
Man, our weather team has been telling us this is going to be, if you want snow, this is the season for snow. We'll see if that prediction takes place. But Al, you talk about you ask for snow and then you get really rain because it mixed very early. So they delayed schools 2 hours. Then you actually get measurable snow and they're like, no delay, everybody go to school. Totally an overcorrection.
Right. You know, I'm an educator, so any sound of snow, we love it because that means what? no classes. Well, nope, not anymore. Not after COVID. They're like, put away the slate slides because you got to open up your Zoom or your Google Meets because class will still be going on. And that's exactly what D.C. did last season.
Yeah, listen, I think, Kelsey, with an inch of snow, the roads were treated. They were well taken care of. No issues driving. Of course, there's always going to be crashes, et cetera, because people just have, even when it rains, this is something that we know there's a propensity for.
We're not good in this area,
but at the same time, I kind of commend Montgomery County for saying, you know what? Send them to school.
Yes, you know what, Marina? I am a proud MCPS graduate. We used to trek to school in the snow.
There you go.
We're bred different in Montgomery County, Maryland. Those kids will be just fine. It was not that much snow. I promise you.
Yeah,
we can't baby them.
I do. No, and I agree with you. There is like now the talk, obviously, that you have a lot of kids who are standing at the bus stop. You don't want them standing in the snow.
That's
it is below freezing. It's very cold. But you got to adjust for these things, right? And figure it out. But kids still have to get to school, especially if parents are still going to work.
Now, Al, as an educator, did you ever wear your pajamas inside out to predict a snow day? Is that
oh
still
my
a thing?
God, yes,
Do
it
kids
is.
still do
You're
that?
asking the
Oh
Florida
my
girl
goodness,
about the
I feel like we might be close to the same age. I'm much older than you, but yes, that is funny. Yes, you did.
Thing. At least it was when I was growing up.
Y'all got snow in South Carolina? Oh, no, you're from Connecticut. I forget.
No, I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God.
God, New Jersey, you didn't get snow days.
I mean, I'd rather be from Connecticut than New Jersey. I'm just,
all right.
The shade is real today on the tape.
I love my New Jersey
You've heard of Florida man, Florida woman.
I would say Florida, New Jersey, we're cousins. We're real.
Yeah, there's a lot of interspicing.
Oh my gosh, y'all are just alike.
We're one of the same.
Exactly.
If it happens, pretty much the same thing.
That's exactly right.
I love you, New Jersey. All right, as we look ahead to the new year, the FIFA World Cup is set to take place right here in the Americas. One city that won't be getting any of the soccer matches, us here at home, Washington, D.C., which is funny because this is where all the events are taking place. The draw and all the fun things, not the games. Quite the decision given that D.C. has some of the highest ratings for soccer matches in the countries, but organizers say there's one big problem. Northwest Stadium. We don't really have a stadium. We're looking at Audi Field here. It only fits 20,000 people. This is about money, honey.
Money, honey.
Kelsey, what do you think?
Oh, my gosh. Look, as a sports reporter and journalist here that also teaches sports media, I hate this. But I will tell you, D.C. for a long time has been one of the most disrespected sports cities, even though we claim ourselves and dub ourselves the District of Champions and the District of Sports. All that to be said, I do have a FIFA ball, folks, so maybe there is hope in the future. This is the official FIFA World Cup ball. But I think we need to remember it's been a long time since we've had anything large here. I'm talking NBA All-Star, right? Any of the big things, they don't come here. Super Bowl, we're going to get the draft, right? That's something. But all that to say, I think as you guys think about voting for the next mayor, think about someone who really does prioritize sports in the city. Bring us back.
Mayor Bowser, this was, her legacy, right? So was bringing RFK Stadium back to D.C., keeping the Wizards and the Caps in D.C., which it seemed like it was a done deal to go to Virginia. But we talk about politics, right? If there's any, at this point, regardless of your politics, if there's one person that can sway FIFA to make a game happen right now in D.C. for 2026 with about only 6-7 months left, it could be President Trump. What's he waiting for?
If you're watching President Trump, we need you. We need you on this. And we need to hurry up this new Commander Stadium. Maybe if we could turn that around in 6 months, I think RFK has finally been demolished.
They can't get the East Wing. They can't get the East Wing done in that amount of time. They're not going to get this done. But certainly, I do think, to Kelsey's point, for some reason we just keep getting disrespected, and I think it has a lot to do with the previous Commander ownership and with the state of Northwest Stadium. It's just not a place you want to host 6 million visitors that we're expecting.
Well, you're right. That's exactly what FIFA said. They said, listen, first of all, it's too old and it's too raggedy and it's not safe. We then dropped our bid from using the field, the FedEx Field, and joined Baltimore and still placed number 11. So I think this is just a message to everybody here in the city that's going to be working on the infrastructure. If we want to be a world-class sports center, just the same way that we are a world-class city, then we got to step it up just a little bit.
I know.
Amen.
It is sad, though, because by the time RFK Stadium or whatever they decide to call it, the next one comes around, it's going to be like 30 years before the U.S. is like considered another World Cup. Seriously, it's been a long time. All right, new option for holiday shopping this year. Google opening its first DC retail store in Georgetown featuring Pixel phones, watches, and tablets. Also offering one-on-one appointments for repairs and setups. Al, we'll start with you. Major technology companies like Google needing a retail store. I mean, are people going for these things as much as they are for like the Apple products?
Not so much right now. Obviously, you know that I am a Google thought leader. We incorporated a lot of your colleagues to work at the conference that we held here, the leadership conference here in the DMV. I am just proud to see Google making D.C. one of the very select few cities that they're moving in. Whenever you have tech giants coming into the city, especially to a city like Washington, D.C., you got to praise it. That means there's only growth for more growth, and also for them to inject all the money that they have from the tech side in the West, right here in the East, in the best city on the East Coast, one of the best cities, Washington, D.C.
But Amazon tried this, and these Amazon stores went by the wayside. They really weren't like as much of a hot thing as they thought they were going to be.
Yeah, that's true. I think every millennial is breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief in terms of getting those phone calls from their folks saying, my phone isn't working now. You've got tech supply and support at this store. Just send them there, just like the Apple store. You know, just
I love the Apple store.
Your Geek Squad kids zone here.
Yeah, the millennials are tired
to
of like
stores.
helping repair from
that's
another
all we
state.
do. That's all we do.
He has no. He's just. This is anecdotal, folks. It's not first-hand account.
Constant calls from mom and dad. Shout out to Pete and Eileen.
Because I don't know. For me, like I don't even Apple. Like I'm ordering things online. If it doesn't work, I just send them to the UPS store and then wait for my return.
Marina, as a resident,
I don't.
Really?
No.
You don't take your kid to the store for the interactive stuff?
What interactive? That's screens.
It's just long lines.
No, they have all the interactive
He knows how to get.
stuff.
Trust me, he knows how to get
in a box and sends the kid back sometimes, you know, which is tired of it.
He doesn't need any more screens, Al.
No more screens for him. Well, he is a talented young man.
I will say, as a resident millennial, I just help my parents with their new phones. So I think I will still be helping them with their phones. But all that to say, I think this just gives us another reason yet to spend more money in Georgetown. Let's be honest. It's there. It's convenient. I am an iPhone girl, but I hate going to the store because the lines are always long. So I am Team Marina. Sorry, Al.
No. I do everything online, baby. And if it doesn't work, just send it back from the UPS store. You'll be fine.
Online, baby.
Yeah. A former D.C. resident getting a lot of attention for a recent article in the Business article. Oh, wow. A lot of articles. She said that she moved to D.C. thinking that she would feel right at home. Instead, she felt the culture was too work-oriented. Now, Julia Atkinson says she's found the right balance living in San Diego, California. This, of course, not San Diego, but the streets of D.C. She gives credits to D.C.'s neighborhoods and the gorgeous views of the Potomac River. So what's the best and worst parts of living in D.C.?
I mean, also, like, San Diego, have a blast out there. Good luck to you. DC's got great culture. We got those museums. It's a beautiful. We're getting a new suffragette memorial at 19th and Constitution. So there's just the history here. The free museums, I think, are the best spot. But you know, we can't compete with San Diego's beaches.
And the weather.
Yeah, have fun out there.
I mean, let's talk about this December. No snow out there.
Hey, you know me. I've lived in Miami. I've lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in New York City for 20 plus years, and I am now living in the district. I think you have to give the district time if you've moved from somewhere and you're coming here. The district is the perfect combination. You have people that work, medicine, science, art, you have education, you have hospitals, you have doctors. I just love this place. And if you give it time, you understand that this city actually opens up at 3 p.m. with a good after work happy hour cocktail. For me, thumbs up to D.C.
All right, so of that list, Al, what's your favorite?
Ooh, well, New York City is like the city of all cities.
Are you retiring in New York City?
I'm not retiring in New York City. That's another thing. But the second best as far as the big city life is definitely Washington, D.C. It's prettier for me. It's cleaner for me. And the food and wine has really stepped it up, so I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
I mean, I think the problem with Miami and L.A. have good weather, right? But they're such spread out cities. You need cars. You don't have like that city urban experience, Kelsey, that you have in New York City. We can get on the metro and be like on the other side of town and experiencing something different.
And it's a one-pony show. In LA, it's like entertainment and sports, right? So it's like everybody out there is trying to be an actor. Everybody out there is trying to be a producer. Everybody out there is trying to be a writer. Where in D.C., you have doctors, you have lawyers, you have doctors. You have everything that you ever need right here.
And constantly people moving in and out of the city, too.
Right.
In terms of,
I mean, it's a big transplant city, certainly, but it also has like its historical center, the people that are from here. Kelsey, you grew up in the burbs of D.C.
I did, yes. Look, D.C. is home. I think there's no place greater than D.C., but I get what they're saying. Like, I'm counting down the days when I go to San Francisco for Super Bowl this year. For a reason, I'm tired of this cold already, but all that to say, like, I do think D.C. is one of those places that the first thing people ask you is what you do and where do you live, and they equate those two. So I feel like if you aren't progressive, maybe or where you want to be in your career, I could see how D.C. could be hard. But to Al's point, yes, we do have one of the best happy hours in the city, and also one of the best brunches is in the city. So
It is a
True.
brunch and happy hour town, which I can get with because I'm not about that 2 a.m. life anymore. So.
Are you going to retire back to Florida?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, there's something about the warmth and the beach that just calls me. I'm a crab sign, so I need that.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I can't deal with this. But I'm going to be here for a while still. Yeah, I'm not going to the swim on the Potomac anytime soon. You can take me out on the yacht, but I don't know if I'm dipping my toes in that. All right, let's check that Fox 5 Live Insible. What's your favorite part of living in the DMV? Location and the sites and the monuments like Kevin was talking about. The weather, no surprise there at 0%. I am surprised at the culture because I do think that you talk about other cities and there may not be like that sense of culture that we have here in D.C.
Right.
So we'll see how that changes throughout the hour. Stay with us here on the Ticket 2. Back after this.